We are having sort of a split fight. They are split between the dragon and the fight. They should just take the fight.
Did they know the Twitch is here? Twitch is going to spray and pray. Think he's going to be able to kill the Mordekaiser. Surely? Dead. Nice, there it happens.
Brazil
oh, look at the Twitches. Look at the Twitches. Look where he is, though. He's going to kill this Ari easily. They just don't know he's there.
Killing off screen.
Yeah, for real. It's going to go down. Mel here, Caitlyn going to try the rest of the fight. But again, the Twitch comes from nowhere. He's crazy.
For the St. James. We're going to see J4 go right in. The ult comes up, the Cataclysm comes out. They're all fighting in the middle. Not as caught in the trunks somehow. The Superman Deathhawker does come out and then I'm getting knocked back. However, Olaf is on that backline, taking a lot of damage. Sevilla will fall, Jinx will fall. But this Olaf, he's taking them all back.
He just want to be for them. Okay, naturally, I guess.
Safety. Jinx is on the other side of this wall. If they can keep, I was gonna say, if they can keep him safe, okay, he went hella aggressive there. He's gonna get 2 kills. He's gonna go for the 3rd kill. He's gonna go for the 4th kill. Help the best stole his Penta. Quadra kill here for Cookie. To be fine here. Meanwhile, Zeus is gonna be fighting Swaros on the top side, and that's gonna be a no! Victor stole the Nash.
Oh my god. But the difference between it's not going to be enough because he comes back around for the drive-by. Bloody, that's going to be a hell of a clip.
It's, you know, it's like it's more of a rare occasion if it does happen. Just like a 3-man Bard ult coming out. Holy moly, in goes Neela as well. Look at the 4-man pull. Holy moly, the cutters are absolutely getting slaughtered and getting sent to the butchers. Clean ace.
Below on gold, it's going to be really hard for you to do the Baron here. Shreds your resistances. And we see 5DK are wrapping around. They're going to have to leave it, but it's on 3K. That means 5DK can just start it. It's very close to being stolen. They're going to just take this. Red team do get it. That's so unfortunate. And now the team fight begins. And JP's in the wrong place. He's going to get collapsed on. What can they even do here? Huey's going to run. Sejuani's just going to watch his AP carry get popped. And he just has to run behind the turret and pray.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MiniLCS Winter Open 2026, hosted on the one and only League of Shut Up. I am your production overlord, Dark Lord Aaron, and today we have a special game for you today. Well, today, first off, we have 4 games going live, and you can watch them. You can watch some of the other games, not all of them, I don't think. But just hop over to our Discord. You'll see links for where other people are streaming the games. But today, on the main broadcast, the main production, we have selected a Pacific game. And that is because it is a Weenie Hut Junior game, and we haven't been able to stream it live. So, today is the day. And also, personally, I'm hoping today is a 2-0 because I got shit to do. I need to be out, ladies and gentlemen, by 10 o'clock on the dot. So if these guys do not swiftly run this over, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. But if enough of that, we have casters. No, sorry, we have caster singular. For some reason, all the other casters have ran away. To be fair, some of them are playing today. So, to cast this set, and I might, you know, jump in every once in a while, we have your boy, the host of the tournament. We have Day Zero, Smites.
Oh shit, what's good? You caught me in a moment of comfort. I'm in a blanket burrito for the Weenie Hut Junior gameplay that we're about to witness. So we're gonna see how it goes. Today we have Church of Copium Kings, who I will not be calling by their acronym because it may get us some kind of strike. But if you have basic spelling ability, I'm sure you'll you'll get it. Versus the Outcasts, who are awkwardly, their logo still says their pre-made team name, which they were my team. Or if you guys remember the draft, we had 3 teams of three captainless teams. In Winnie Hut Junior bracket, they had mine, which we called Smiteless. Yay, good times. They have since rebranded to the Outcasts. And then in the Hard Select Heroes bracket, we had Eunice's Order, which became Should Have Picked Us, and then Dark Lord Omega Squad, which are still called Dark Lords Omega Squad. So shout out to Aaron for having the only team that kept their name. But yeah, we have, technically speaking, we do have 2 winning teams here. So on part of a technicality, the Outcasts are 1-0 in series so far, because they got their first series victory by losing 0-2. And then the team that they faced got disqualified for having evidence that they were trying to solicit low MMR accounts to kind of smurf, right? So essentially, that win got revoked. That player got disqualified, their team captain, and they've rebuilt since. We may see them, I believe, tomorrow. I'm not sure if we'll be able to stream that game, but they will be in action. In that game, they played, I think it was a fairly, it looked fairly well fought, in my opinion. The main issue was, I believe, the jungler, who we did have reason to believe was smurfing. He kind of put the team on the back in the mid game when they were struggling, and then once they got meta ahead on the KO, he just kind of popped off in the end of the first game. But what I will say about the Outcasts, I think that their top laner plays a lot of weird off-meta stuff. It's going to be really hard here for Church of Copian Kings to be able to kind of account for him effectively. Jason Matt, lovingly one of my favorite players in our tournament for maybe the wrong reasons. He has an impressively bad record, and like I said, we love him for it. We want to see him get that first dub here up against Church of Copian Kings for sure. He is, I believe, let me do some math. So in Winter 25, the team went 0-4 and straight out of the tournament in double elim. And then in Summer of 25, his team went 0-4 and out of the tournament. So he's currently, and then they lost 0-2 to Team Cyberpunk last week. So 0-10 in all MiniLCS competitions, 1 series win to his name with 0 actual game wins. So we're gonna be keeping a keen eye on Jason Matt to see whether or not he can pull out first game win in MiniLCS history for him. Meanwhile, they've got Aid Pro in the jungle, kind of a mover arounder type of player here. Believe he played AD carry in the last split for Airfryer Esports, which was Jason's team, I believe. Oh, sorry, no, Ornhub. He played for Ornhub, who have a couple returning players as well. Not in this series though. Then we have a couple new people. We have mid laner Cat Bandito. AD carry is forever Elo Hell for this game. And then support player is Espeon, who a lot of people were telling me shouldn't be worth 4 points, shouldn't be worth gold in terms of points. Apparently they're insane. But we will judge that today in this series. On the other side of the coin though, on red side, we do have the Church of Copium Kings. So they are a couple returning people and then a couple new people as well. So in terms of the returners, we have Synthet in the top lane, formerly of 7 Schizos, back in Winter of 25. So he took a year off, didn't show up for Summer of 25 because there were ranked requirements and he didn't want to play solo queue. But now he's back. And now we have a little bit more balance. For those who watched Winter of 25, they'll remember 7 Schizos even had a bit of a hard run of it. Especially when Synthet's Aatrox was taken off the board, he struggled really immensely in top lane. But now against people that are of his quality or lower in the Weenie Hut Junior bracket, it seems like his pool is a lot more accessible. We have seen him whip out, I believe we saw him whip out the Zahen which is kind of like Aatrox 2.0. So, you know, the release of Zahen has done wonders for Synthet's champion pool. But we've also seen him pull out the Kale. I've seen in scrims that he's whipped out stuff like Mundo before. So definitely one of the more stable top laners. Funnily enough, I feel like every top laner apart from Jasomat in the Weenie Hut bracket in terms of the mashup teams are all plat. He's like the only one that wasn't plat, and to be fair, he only ended up top because he put his role as Phil. It was like, I'll play any role, and we had no top laners other than these like plat 4, plat 3 guys who all said they wanted it. So it's a bit of a stacked role. It might be a bit hard for Jason to get the edge here in lane, but definitely going to lean on some of his more creative picks, I imagine. In the jungle, we have returning Mahasvara, so formerly of Miracle Makers in the summer of 25, where they, I think in terms of series, they went 0-2 and out. But in terms of actual games, they did win at least one game. They were a team that looked promising, but were marred by limitations they put on themselves. They wanted to do wacky stuff. They wanted to do wacky drafts. They whipped out like Viego support. They whipped out Akshan support. It was a very weird team to watch. You could see that most of the team had hands, but they kind of got themselves stuck on the idea that they could win with the wacky stuff instead of just playing standard. So keep your eye peeled for, or your singular eye peeled for Mahasvara. He's a tank and engage enjoyer, very much one of the kind of Jarvan, a Moo, maybe a little Sejuani in there we might see at some point, but someone who wants to have go button and just kind of like, you know, throw themselves in, be beefy enough to maybe make a mistake or two and not get caught out. But yeah, moving on, we have some of the new players on the side of Church of Copium Kings. We have Chapati Master in the mid lane. Did sign up as a top laner, but put mid as off role, so going to be interesting to see how he fares. They did obviously do well in their first series where they went 2-0, and then Jesu in the bot lane. So again, a completely new fresh face for MiniLCS. Missed the first series unfortunately due to personal situations, so we had Soot cover for them. So this is their first series in MiniLCS. And then rounding out Church of Copium Kings, we do have Noodle Master in the support. So, oh, Aaron says he needs my help. What do you need my help with? Yeah, okay, so essentially, yeah, I see the issue, sir. So I got a message about it, but my hands are busy holding my mic. I couldn't respond, and I was too busy talking. But yeah, in this instance, what would occur is, because they're using a sub, they play their first game without stage 1 bans. So, because it's not their registered game 1 lineup submission, even if there is a registered sub, in game 2 onwards, they can sub out the person who is missing. And then they go back to having regular bans. But for game 1, it is ban 1, 2, and 3 just goes to none, and then they play the draft as normal. So pray that people are already watching the stream and I don't need to type that out to them. A paragraph.
No, they've been sent the section in our rule book, the actual paragraph line. What was it? 7.1.2 in the rule set. They just need a confirmation, so hopefully they start draft.
Yeah. They play with ban 1, ban 2, ban 3 missing, and then from game 2 onwards, if their original intended AD carry shows up, then they can put them in. If they don't, then they officially sub their original sub in who's playing in game 1, and so they lose no bans for game 2 onwards. But we'll see what happens. Oh, where's this? Or was this the pre-game lobby? Is this where are we going to the draft? Are we cutting to it, or? Oh, we got animations and shit. Yeah, I was about to say, I just saw someone in the chat. So yeah, we got some Group B Winnie Hut Junior bracket action. We got Church of Copium Kings versus Smiteless, or now called the Outcasts, but we are still waiting on that replacement logo. So as soon as they get that replacement logo for us, we will definitely get them changed over to their new name. We'll have to see when that comes through. Oh, we have another graphic. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, look at that. Holy. Goddamn. Yeah. Some of these logos are not like others. Namely, Church of Copium Kings and Rift Police. But, you know, I respect that. You know, I had to, like, Photoshop an eye onto Tuba's team's logo. Like, it's so AI that it didn't even know, like, the fucking bird is supposed to have an eye, and so I had to like go in and like Photoshop a fucking eye onto it. This is my life. Yeah. But yeah, either way, it would be good if we had the groups, like the actual group listings rankings on there. I don't know if I can, if I send, not yet, soon TM. We do have the graphic ready, but like it's just getting it actually like programmed so that when we put the when we pair it to an Excel sheet, it will actually work. I was gonna say what I can do is I'll drop the link for the challenge in the server. Sorry, not in the server, in the Twitch chat, so people can see for themselves what the groups are kind of rounding out to be. Before I get into what the groups look like, though, I just want to respond to that Twitch chat message. DKCNC, thank you for joining us. We can't stream the Perplexity game right now because we are committed to doing the Weenie Hut game. They're happening at the same time. If anyone wanted to do a third-party stream of that, they're more than welcome to. But right now, we haven't done a single Weenie Hut Junior game live this entire tournament. So it felt only right for us to do at least one now, considering we've had such a hard focus on Sweatlord in terms of the live streams. It's been crazy. Oh look, it's Tuba. Tuba fucking ignored me. Ignored my at like 2 hours ago. And it just shows yeah, what's good? Welcome to the chat. I'm running the solo cast. Don't join though. Don't join. I'm gonna enjoy this. Let's get into draft. So unfortunately, like we mentioned, because Smiteless are missing one of their initially intended players and they've brought in a substitute player for game one, they do not get stage 1 bans, so they are going to have to whiff these bans here. Meanwhile, Church of Copium Kings are going to target, it looks like, the AD carry, so they've taken away the Smolder and the MF. Although I do believe those are bans targeted at Loopy as opposed to Forever Elo Hell. And then they've taken away the Morgana from, I believe it's mainly an Aid Pro ban. He did play Morgana in a losing effort in the last series, but we'll see how things play out. It is obviously a very good option in these kind of lower elo brackets for the support pool, right? When people are missing, when people aren't dodging as many skill shots, the pure length of the Dark Binding by Morgana is super punishing, and the Black Shield to kind of help your AD carry if they get caught, because they will get caught, is super useful as well. But in terms of our first stage picks here, we do have Talia on the B1 here for Smiteless, going to be going, I imagine, in the mid lane, although I believe this patch it did get a buff for the jungle, so we might be seeing jungle Talia. But if I had to put money on it, I'm saying it's a Talia mid here for Catito Bandito. And Church of Copium Kings are gonna smash in their immediate bot lane. So Aphelios, I believe, is one of Jesu's favorite AD carries. It is a very strong hyper carry. If they can get him ahead, he can put the team on the back with that champ. And then Braum is just a very safe, very sturdy pick, gonna make it hard for the Talia. Basically, all of Talia's projectiles get blocked by the Braum shield. And also, I mean, you know, we know that Espeon is primarily an Enchanter player, so she's going to be throwing some projectiles towards the Braum anyway. So, you know, it's a value pick. I respect picking it early. It didn't really get punished, I'd say. Karma into Braum, I think Braum should be fine. Sivir is gonna be the safe option there, though, for Forever Elo Hell. And why is there there's no bans on Smiteless? Because they are playing with a substitute player for game 1. Their originally intended AD carry is AWOL for reasons unbeknownst to us. So they've had to whip in, instead of using Loopy as their AD carry, they have Forever Elo Hell. But yeah, Church of Copian Kings are going to round out their first stage picks with this Echo. So I'll be interested to see if that's Chapati on the Echo mid, or if it's Mahasvara on the Echo jungle. Echo jungle is one of 2 really OP junglers right now. Him and Diana basically abuse Dusk and Dawn. In typical Riot Games balanced team fashion, when they release a new thing that's inherently busted, instead of nerf the busted thing, they just nerf the champions and leave the busted thing to be busted. And then when they finally give up and they nerf the busted thing, champions like Diana and Echo will just be completely out of the meta. But yeah, Dusk and Dawn, very good item. Agreed, son. Agreed. And we're gonna see the Echo abuse it for sure. Stage 2 bans here came out. Church of Copium Kings double ban on the tanks here. They get rid of the Malphite and the Sejuani. Meanwhile, double jungler bans here for Smiteless. So Smiteless seem to believe that the Echo is mid here. And then on the R4, they are going to blind the Mundo, which is a bold pick, knowing that that is gonna get countered here. Although, I mean, maybe it's a Mundo jungle. It could be a Mundo jungle, and they just did it to bait out the top laner. I think that would be a wise choice, but then we see Gwen is gonna get picked up here in the B4, B5 slot. So Gwen is a great counter into Mundo. She can shred him very effectively. I think this team isn't particularly bad at dealing with Mundo. Especially once we get to that kind of 25-minute mark where everybody's got the items they need. You know, once Siva and once Gwen have their items, Mundo should be super shreddable. And we're going to round out the draft here with what I imagine is a Sion top. So Smiteless full team comp, looking at Sion, then Gwen, Talia mid, and Siva Karma in the bot lane. So there's a lot of good poke options here for them. They have a very, very good poke kind of outlet here, and Nunu's going to round out the Copium Kings draft. So it is going to be that Mundo in the top lane. Synthet kind of they've drafted him a little bit into a hole there. That I think maybe that's ego, but that might be an ego one where it's like, I don't care what Jason picks, I'm beating him. So, you know, we'll see how well Synthet can fare in what is a bad matchup. So Mundo into Gwen. Gwen kind of gets to farm for free because Mundo doesn't do anything until he has his ultimate, and then when he gets his first item, it's when he kind of wants to be a menace. And by the time he gets those items, she should have Dusk and Dawn. Wow, look at that item coming up again. Crazy times. She should have Dusk and Dawn, or if it was a season ago, it's a Nash's Tooth. And then she should be able to handily deal with him, but we'll see how things go. I'd also like to see whether or not they're going to draft some anti-heal on either side, because both teams have quite a bit of that kind of shielding and healing going on. But either way, predictions are up, guys. Get your predictions in. Smack those Stimo coins up in the chat. Get the gamba going. We gotta see who's gonna win this one, and you gotta put your money where your mouth is. Is SMT gonna win it? Wait, who's SMT? Oh, as in Smiteless. Okay, yeah, sorry. In my head, I'm like Outcasts. There's no SMT in Outcasts, but yeah, never mind. SMT or the team who shall not be named for terms of service reasons. Let's see. Okay, we got like 2.8k points going down onto the Copium Kings. A little 1k there onto Smiteless, onto the Outcasts. See, I think that if Church of the Copium Kings get ahead early, the game is going to be a wash, because they have someone who can do tons with tempo in Nunu, right? Like Gwen, sorry, I've been saying it's Gwen into Mundo this whole time, dude. It's Gwen jungle. I am so sorry. My bad. Yeah, Gwen into Nunu is... Nunu gets to be as active as he wants to be, and Gwen's gonna power farm. So, you know, that's kind of not going to be too big of a deal. We'll see whether or not Mahasvara can really have an impact. If he can get lanes ahead way before Gwen gets her first item, then I think that they're in a good place. Sion into Mundo, otherwise, that one is less good. That's going to be a do nothing lane, kind of wet noodle extraordinaire situation. But yeah, I think that actually works out better for the Mundo, because Sion's not going to be able to punish him in the same way or have kill threat on him in the same way that Gwen did. So yeah, I think that's definitely actually a good thing here for Synthet. He ended up getting the R4 and not getting counterpick. It's kind of diabolical to me, actually, now that I think about it, that they R5'd jungle instead of a carry. But you know what? Fair play to them. We'll see. Hey, Aaron, you ever watch Dodgeball? Damn, I got fucking ignored, guys. Never mind. All right, chat. You ever watch Dodgeball? You remember the movie Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn? And they have is his name Jason Bateman or something? And he's like a commentator, and he's like, bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. That's me right now, looking at the Nunu R5. Nunu is still, I mean, this patch is the patch where, you know, we are playing on 16.2. We are playing on live patch. Yeah, he did dodge that question for real. This guy went for a piss while the fucking break goes. You know, we're waiting for the spectator delay to go down, and yeah. But yeah, Nunu is heavily nerfed on this patch. I think that Nunu is still strong. On 16.1, he had a 54% win rate, which was insanely high. So let's just say with, you know, everything that he got, 3 things nerfed. I can't remember exactly what they are. But let's just say for everything he got nerfed, he drops 1%. He's still actually at 51%. I know that's not how stats work. But, you know, for argument's sake here, I still think that he's maybe not like S tier anymore, but still good. You know, they didn't nerf any of the things that made him good in terms of like the game, right? Like the ability to just get out on the map quickly with the home guards is still super powerful. Having him, you know, being AP and them lowering the magic resist of like epic monsters is again still good. So, you know, all of those kind of things are still there. It's just his numbers that have been lowered on several abilities. So he shouldn't be as obnoxious, but like from an ethos perspective, he should still be pretty fucking strong here. And also considering he's going for the polar opposite of what Gwen will be going for. Gwen is going to be looking to farm, and then find people in the objectives and win there. But, you know, Nunu is going to just do a first full clear, and then hopefully, if he can, probably try to gank twice, you know? Gank mid, then gank the next lane that looks pushed. Another thing that Nunu can do on this patch that's particularly obnoxious is because of home guards, you can full clear, and if there's no easy gank option, you base, and you look to see which lane is pushed in already, like as in, you know, is pushing towards you, and you can just run it down the lane. And when you're at like T1, you just W and you can just walk it into the lane, and if they're already pushed up, like you're probably gonna hit them unless they have some kind of movement abilities. Like it's genuinely quite obnoxious how fast everybody is in season 26 or season 16. So I'll be keeping a watchful eye on Mahasvara on this Nunu to see whether or not he can do something. But yeah, Aaron, how are you feeling about the draft?
It looks interesting. I like that or I was going to say the word that cannot be said. Fuck it, I'll say it. It's my channel, cock. I like the first pick of Felius. You know, Felius is coming back into the meta now. Has been away for quite a while, I'd say. I think that's a interesting pick, teamed up with the Brom. My bet is more on Church of Copium Kings here, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that their team comp is actually, let me change it. I don't think that their team comp is particularly better. I think that the problem is that Smiteless or the Outcasts don't have any major answers to the hyper carries.
Yep.
So, you know, Aphelios is like, who's getting on top of him? Who's locking him down? We don't have a single like point and click stun or like any kind of actual way to meaningfully lock him down outside of Scion ult. And if you're relying on what's probably going to be a split pushing, like proxy farming Scion to have to be your primary form of engage to stop that Aphelios every time, it's, you know, it's just not great. And as he gets to 3 and 4 items, if you can hope that Tatalia can land the EW and stun him that way, but that's very skill, like that's very skill based. And then Karma can try and tether him, but once he's got enough items, if he's got the right guns, she dies before the tether pops. Like, that's just the reality.
I think if they want to get the Aphelios, they have to get him on his own type deal.
Yeah, they have to get. It has to be a flank, and he has a really good front line as well. You know, they've got the Braum, they've got the Mundo, they've got Nunu. If Nunu decides to go tanky, the meta Nunu build at the moment isn't really tank. It's like Liandry's into Frozen Heart, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of like bruiser-ish, but like I mentioned earlier, most of Mahasvara's champion pool is on that kind of tankier side. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go maybe like Sunfire instead. Waterboy, welcome to the chat. This is a week 2 Weenie Hot Junior bracket game. So we have Church of Copium Kings, who are currently 1-0, coming up against Smiteless, who are also 1-0. So winner of this one will be clear-cut first place in Group B. Cinema Hut, true. Yeah, you're right.
Well, it's got me in it,
like
so of course it is. Mine's absolute cinema. Hard Suck Heroes is where you see no smites.
What do you mean, bro? Look, yeah.
No, okay, look.
What do you mean no smites?
No, yesterday there was some good smites. There was a lot of steals.
Some steals, baby.
Yeah.
Some steals. I was going crazy.
If you weren't here, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, we had your boy Day Zero playing, I forgot what his team is called already, which is brilliant. Dillerman D Sports. And there was no Day Zero smites. It was Day 2 smites or 4 smites. And there were some good steals right there.
Yeah, I think I got 2 back-to-back steals. It was pretty good. But yeah, man, honestly, that series was an interesting series, but it's the less said about it, the better. I think we just want to focus towards fruit maxes now, because if what we think happens, which is that they probably 2-0-5 off roll, then we're playing for first place in our group. We'll both be 2-0. It's gonna be a cinema game. We'll have to see what plays, or how it plays out, I should say. I'm under investigation for account sharing. I shut up, Tuba, man. This guy, dude. I still have the sound of you pressing E on a Mumu every like millisecond burnt into my fucking skull. I don't want to hear it. We are waiting for the spectator delay to pop. As soon as that one goes, we'll go for that.
Should be
we'll just, head straight in
very, very soon. Now the predictions from chat are for the Church of Copium Kings right now. It's 79% to 21% for Smiteless.
Ooh, wait, for Smiteless?
No, against.
Oh yeah, fair enough. I think that's valid. It's hard, right? So I think if Smiteless get ahead, there's still actually every opportunity they lose it, because while they have really good options to clear waves here, right? Like Scion is great at clearing waves, Talia is great at clearing waves, and Sivir is great at clearing waves. They should be really easy for them to turtle. So essentially, like Church of Copium Kings might struggle to actually siege if the game is equal. But if the game isn't equal, then they just get killed under their turrets. And and then they siege without, you know, without problem. So, and especially if we're talking about like tier 1 or tier 2 turrets, then Nunu is very good at wrapping around with the ball and just kind of like banging into them and being able to set up plays for his team to be able to actually facilitate something. And oh, what's good, Slugger? It is a best of 3, by the way. I did see your initial question up there. This is best of 3. It is best of 3, and it is fearless. So in game 2, we will not see any of these champions. So we're gonna have to see. Was that the Braum could be the biggest pain in the ass if he's the GOAT? There's Noodle on the Braum, so Noodle is the GOAT. We're gonna have to see if she can pull it out. Shout out to Noodle, because I heard that they are playing whilst ill. So yeah, Trundle would have been our top laner for this game instead of that Scion, because the only one we saw the Mundo get picked R4, right? So we know there's a Mundo in there already. We could assume it was top, but it could have been flex jungle. But yeah, no, it's the Trundle's actually seeing some play as a support now at the moment, because his what was it, like Bloodsong is good on him, Bandle Pipes is a very, very fun item, guys. Very fun. You just kind of Qs them, and then that hits them with a little bit of a slow, which activates Bandle Pipes, or pillars them, and then when they get hit by that, there's CC included, so Bandle Pipes triggers. It's a good time all around, you know? He's having a great time. But sweet, now we are finally into game. It is time. SMT, cock. Straight into game 1. Let's have a look at some of these starting kind of situations. What we got? So both top laners opt to take the TP here, so nobody looking to take a combat sum and bully anyone in the early game. Both also taking Grasp of the Undying. So yeah, this is gonna be the epitome of bro lane, I think. You know, this is genuinely gonna, I don't know how old some of our players are to remember back in the day, season 4 bro lane. No, we're bro lane. Nice. Oh god, that is something special. Not themselves. Nice. Hell yeah. Go for it. I have mixed feelings. I like the fact that oh, they can't hear you. Oh,
now they can. Now they can. I'm an idiot.
Nice.
My question was, how
trade
do you know what? Forget me.
No. Let's see. Oh, Catito Bandito is getting a little bit of damage here onto Chapati Master. But I think not much else will happen there, although they are kind of pushing it. You can see on the mini-map there, it looks like they're up against that turret, fishing for that first blood, but no joy in the first couple minutes here. But to answer your question that nobody else heard, yeah, the early game stuff I have mixed feelings on. With the season 16 changes, the fact that invades are not really a thing anymore, it's kind of rough, and especially like in solo queue specifically, right? So not really competitive play, but in solo queue I've had many a person invade me and I end up ahead of them because my camps are cycled and theirs aren't. So yes, they start off ahead of me in CS, but then in 2 minutes time all of my camps are up before theirs, and then it just doesn't matter. And you know, as long as I'm cycling effectively, at past 10 minutes I'm ahead of them. And so it's crazy how Riot have like tried to just completely neuter the counter jungling in this season. But okay, this ain't a bro lane anymore. These guys are kind of getting low HP. Yeah, Synthec gonna get first blood there onto Jason. Jason's gonna chase him down, get it with the corpse, the Scion Undying.
Well, the Mundo. To try and escape that.
Yeah. That is a rough one, and we're gonna see the Baus special here, by the way, because having been alive for as long as he was while he was in the Undying Rage, his death timer is only about 2 seconds. So he's back up immediately. Wasted the time he got on it though, because it took him too long to actually TP back. And so we match the TPs here, and yeah, unfortunate there, but either way. He does have a minor CS lead, so it's not like there's a gold lead for him. The only gold lead really building is in the mid lane here. Cat Bandito pushing the Echo out in the early stages. As long as he has E available, it's really hard for Echo to get on top of him. But if Echo can, for whatever reason, get on top of him, it's actually pretty easy for the Echo to get a good trade. He's got Hail of Blades. He's going to just, you know, EQ in, boom, smack the guy. Meanwhile, Sion here, kind of getting caught, burns his flash to keep himself safe. And that's 5 minutes down for Sion's flash here, so he's definitely going to be abusable. There's dragon spawning in 15 seconds as well, right? So, but meanwhile, Nunu is just kind of camping the Sion. They've decided if we get Mundo ahead here, like, he should be unkillable, and they do get that second kill here onto Mundo. Sion's going to try and chase him down, but he doesn't actually have the speed here to act death on the board here for the Sion. So 400 gold lead for the Mundo now. Does already have a Giant's Belt as well, by the way, so he is very much on his way to being a problem in this game. And meanwhile though, let's see the Gwen. Can we slide over and see how much damage Gwen's dealt to this dragon? Never mind, we don't need to. She's got it. Didn't need to see anyway. Really good prioritization there by Gwen to see, okay, Nunu has spent too much time top, has lost tempo in top to make sure that they can get the Mundo ahead. So just immediately Futum onto the dragon, get themselves that quick first neutral. And we know it's not going to be Cloud Soul. Cloud Soul's really strong. I think if you're the side of Smiteless right now, or the Outcasts, you're really going to want, like, I think probably Hextech. I think Hextech is the best option available to them right now. And if Church of the Copium Kings have their say, they're going to want Ocean Soul, because it is super strong with about 3 of their champions, and good on the other 2 as well. So meanwhile, the Mundo just walks in and is like, I don't mind taking this trade because I have my ult, and I'm 100% ready to pop that and just go back up to full HP. I don't care. And Sion just casually takes a ton of damage. Does have his Balmy Cinder here though, so gonna be kind of slowly chipping away at the wave, even if he doesn't hit it. Oh, double grass proc. Oh, we're grass proc gaming. Oh, ooh, big knockup maybe. Not gonna be enough here. I think this is just a Mundo kill. Mundo third kill on the board, and it's looking like a bit of a diffy in the top lane. Meanwhile, flash ult by the Nunu gonna pop the support. Espion's gonna go down, and then Flash is gonna come out by Forever Elo Hell just to keep himself safe. That was a good first play there by Mahaswara, I think, to just preemptively just hit the flash to be like, look, there's no way you're getting away from me. I know your flash is down. You have to walk the entirety of this to get out, and you have no CC to stop me. So yeah, here we see on the replay, immediately comes in with the ball. Snowball catches someone, flash, ult. Yeah, Karma doesn't, she gets rooted, and then she just doesn't try to leave after that. She just kind of accepts her fate. Which, do you know what? Valid. Because even if she ran away, there was no way she was actually getting out, right? So 80 carry when Nunu gangs for the 100th time up. True. Yeah, Nunu is one of those champions where he just perma hits lanes, right? He's very good at it, and we see Sion here, his flash is down and he doesn't have ult right now, so this is probably just another kill. Aid Pro is going to try and help him here, and actually just the presence of the Gwen is enough to keep them away. Gonna see the scissors come out and chip away at that Mundo, but not quite enough to get anything meaningful. And Espeon did just pass straight top, and we see down on the bot lane, Jesu is going to get a kill for free. And oh no, Mundo gets the cleaver here onto the Sion, and it is actually going to be a kill. That's kind of bad here for the side of Smiteless, to be honest. They commit multiple members topside to try and, you know, secure the grubs and secure the kind of play there. They end up trading 1 for 1 because Nunu goes down, but so does Sion. And oh, okay, gonna see the time warp come out here by Echo. Gonna get himself to safety. Nice little roam there by Espeon, but unfortunately nothing comes of it. They do just burn the ult and nothing more. Be able to see if in the next 2 minutes whether or not Aid Pro or Espeon can come back here to see if they can punish while that is down. He does still have flash though, must be mentioned, so might not be the best play. But yeah, okay, here's the replay of what happened to Forever Elo Hell in the bot lane. So I feel like as soon as they saw the Karma was topside, they were like, this is free, boys, let's go. Really quick commit with the flash ultimate by Noodle, and then Jesu gets to just pick up the kill for free. Very clean gameplay by the two of them. And then on the top side, yeah, we get to see this starts off as, I think at this point they should have just fell back. I think standing here by the Scion trying to get that Q was a bit egregious, and he does end up losing his life for it, right? He pops the W, keeps himself alive for a little bit longer, eats that straight cleaver there by Synthet. It's going to be the 4th kill, I believe, for Synthet as well, so he's very handily ahead right now in this lane. Maybe a 5th kill here for him. Scion is playing a way too aggressive for someone who's died 4 times already. Meanwhile, Mahasvara just threw himself right in the way then. Oh, look, if you eat one more cleaver, I swear to God, Jason, you are going to die. Don't do this to yourself. Save your health. Oh, okay. All right, bro. Unlucky. There's a 5th death here for Scion, unfortunately. This Mundo is going to be a menace. He has 1k gold lead right now. He has a what, like little under 10 CS lead, 5 kills to his name, and yeah, he's gonna be a problem. Meanwhile, as we reach that second Drake just coming up, Church of Copium Kings get their way there first. You know, they have priority bot because they have a 1k gold lead on the Aphelios. They had priority mid purely based on the fact that Cat Bandito had based. And Aid Pro was still clearing, so even though he is ahead of the Nunu right now, it's, yeah, they weren't in a position to fight. And as we kind of crawl towards this 15-minute mark, you know, we still have a bit, we still have 3.5 minutes until we get there. First items are coming out for a lot of people. We can see the Warmogs and remaining Giant's Belt for the Mundo is completed, so he is Thanos for the next couple minutes, I think. Dusk and Dawn on the Gwen, and then Black Fire Torch for the Talia, who has got a handy little gold lead just purely from CS, which I think is very good here for Talia. Like we said, the early game, I think it's quite hard for the Echo to trade effectively. You know, that kind of the, I can never remember what the name of the Talia E is, but you know, the ground going no, you cannot dash is really difficult for Echo to be able to maneuver around. And as we get towards team fights, I'm really going to be keeping my eye on the Talia to see whether or not she's able to actually stop people, because you have Echo E. I don't believe Nunu W counts as a dash, so he may be able to walk through that on the W. And then we have Brom W as well. So there's a couple people, a couple key abilities that can be punished with the kind of turned Earth, I think it might be called, right? No, I'm going to look it up now. It's going to annoy me. Talia abilities. We do have a pause here. We are unsure why. Aaron, has anybody told you why? No? All right, yeah. So we're unsure what the pause is for here, but we will find out for you guys ASAP. Let's have a look. Unraveled Earth. I was pretty close. What did I call it? Did I call it Turned Soil or something? Unraveled Earth. I'm going to have to commit that to memory. Did they say anything in the chat? I might be able to tell you what the pause was for.
Nope, nothing's in the chat.
All right. This Gweb needs the biggest shoulders to win this game. Yeah, so I wouldn't put it exclusively on Gwen, but I do agree that Gwen is going to be important in the mid game. We're gonna definitely be focusing on Aiden, on Aid Pro, seeing if he can actually. Oh God, we're back to me. Oh no, dangerous times. That's the power of the pause, guys. We're not too sure why they have pause, but we will find out for you. In the meantime, got to roll up our sleeves to to investigate. Such is life. But yeah, as I was saying, the Gwen is gonna have a lot of responsibility to kill that super fed Mundo. Luckily, with Dusk and Dawn, very strong. Sivir, yeah, that's the problem, right? It's because of the fact that Mundo is accelerated that Sivir won't be able to kill him. Had we maybe, seen him at a regular amount of gold, Sivir would probably be able to kill him on 3 items. But considering Sivir is behind and considering Mundo is up, I swear to God, if he gets the 6th kill here, depressing times. Okay. Jason walks out. You love to see it. All right, cool. We're alive. 1.5k gold lead is the sum total here in the top lane. Although I will say that the Sion is building Hollow Radiance here, when I believe most of Mundo's damage is physical. So it's not going to be able to help him much in lane. It is, I think, actually not going to help him much in the game, to be honest, outside of pushing the waves, because Echo shouldn't be jumping on him. Echo will be jumping on carries and squishies, and Nunu doesn't have tons of damage, and the Mundo is primarily a physical damage threat. So okay, right. I mean, I did see them move on the minimap, so no, Braum is not AFK. But okay, cool. Yeah, there might have been an issue there with the support player. We do know, like I mentioned, I believe that Noodle is ill today, so maybe they needed to get medication or something, and we had to pause for that. But either way, we're back in the action now. We've got a 2k gold lead here at about 14 minutes for Church of Copium Kings. And the camera keeps bringing us back to that top side, because I think the story of this game right now is just how big of a difference there is in top lane. But Flash gonna come out by Chapati Master. He has ulti and he's holding it, but this is gonna be a kill here. Cat Bandito gonna get that picked up. The snowball's gonna come through here by Mahasvara, gonna land on Aid Pro, but it's not going to manifest into anything meaningful. And now the Bandito is gonna get some free shove here on the mid wave, while Mundo just eviscerates the top tier 1, and he's gonna pick up an extra kill here for his problems. He's gonna definitely get that there. 6th kill on the board here. Top lane quest completed as well. He's having a free lane. This is not how the Sion Mundo lane is supposed to go, by the way. This is a very accelerated Mundo. It should be way more equal than it currently is, but Synthet is having a showcase match here right now. 6 kills, 20 CS leads. Got all the items he needs right now as well. Going to be probably building into, I imagine, the Heartsteel next, which is considering how aggressively Jason is positioning constantly, he's going to get stacks on that pretty easily. So Aid Pro walking up here, but I don't think he has the, you don't have jurisdiction in this area, big man. Unfortunately, their entire team is up and your top lane is folded. So you need to, we need to use that kind of time to cross map. If he just moved straight over to the enemy's bot side, like the bottom quadrant, he would have gotten something for his time there. He is still marginally ahead of Mahasvara here, though, about the amount of gold of a kill, as Dragon number 3 spawns. And we got 3 members of Smiteless here ready to try and fight this. Noodle and Jesu trying to shove in that bot tier 1. And yeah, I want to see what maybe we have a little something. Yeah, the control ward gets brought out there by Mahasvara, but it's going to be immediately cleared by Espeon and Aid Pro. But Jesu and Noodle have the forward movement here towards the Drake, but they just change their mind and go straight for Forever Elo Hell on the bot lane. They're going to pop his flash easily. Meanwhile, Echo is able to deny these two from trying to help Aid Pro on the Drake, and now Aiden's stuck. I don't think he gets out here. He's gonna get a good amount of damage here onto the Nunu, tries to get him with the Needleworks, but isn't gonna be able to finish it. And now the TP in here by Synthet comes in, and he's doing his best Aloise impression right now. He's just gonna run down the team, gets his first kill here onto Espeon. Gonna see the Weavers will come up by Cat Bandito to just try and mitigate as much as he can here. They know that the flash is down here on the Sivir, so Synthet is so free to just run this guy down. He has like 4k HP right now. He is not afraid of this turret, and that is gonna be the 8th kill here for the Mundo. He does indeed go where he pleases, and behind him comes his team with the oh my god, what is the name of it? Shelly. What's the actual name? Rift Herald. There we go. Jesus, allow me, man. It's kind of late, and I'm cozy right now. My brain doesn't want to work. I'm in my blanket burrito watching this team get pummeled. And do you know what I will say though? It's only 3k. It's not the end of the world. It's that, and when we look at the actual gold leads, that 3k is primarily just on that top laner. Mundo, he is a problem, don't get me wrong, a massive problem, but you have Gwen, and Gwen can build to deal with him. So again, like someone said in the chat, the why am I getting flamed in the Twitch chat by Sun, bro? What do you mean jungle main forgets the name of an objective? GG. This guy, bro. This guy. It's not an important objective, okay? It's one I'll trade for second Drake like 9 times out of 10. But anyway, and here we have Jason dying again. Aid Pro has come here. Maybe this is the Giga bait. This might be the bait of the year. We're going to see Synthet does still have ulti here, so he should in theory be safe, but he is going to get knocked up. Needleworks are going to come out. Aid Pro is going to be able to shut him down. Maybe the regen is crazy. They have a third member here. They're going to be able to get the kill. That is 1,000 gold, I believe, onto the Gwen. There we go. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. We see Talia does have a 1.6k gold lead right now, but with the leads generated in bot and top, it doesn't feel too big. And oh, what did Mahasvara do there? Did he just snowball into the wall? Because that knockup hit nobody, bro. And Aid Pro is going to be able to intimidate 3 members away from the top side of their own jungle. Unfortunately, it's already been cleared by the Nunu, so there's nothing for him to actually grab. But do you know what? I respect it. The Gwen is a major threat right now. She's got 1.5 items. She's looking pretty dangerous, even though they are down 6 kills. And with the amount of time they're able to keep Synthet away, getting that shutdown, Jason gets himself a turret. That's you know, that's a nice little chunk of change for him. He's gonna be able to finish Hollow Radiance here. He's gone Tiamat next, which I don't think I agree with. That's gonna be going into the Titanic Hydra. Espeon gonna eat the snowball there and immediately gonna bring out the Nunu ult. She just stands in it. She's like, I can't walk away. There's no point. I'm cooked here, and gonna be another kill here. 3rd kill there, or 3rd death there, I should say, for Espeon. On this Karma. And then in the bot, yeah. I like this lane allocation. I don't actually hate this because it's going to be really hard for Echo to be able to kill Sion. Sion has even built MR, so putting him up against the Echo where his MR is actually useful makes sense. And Cat Bandito is ahead, not as ahead as the Mundo, but ahead enough that he can wave clear and hopefully not die. So we take those. I think it's a good lane assignment here. Baron is obviously up, and we have TP on both members of Smiteless, whereas the TP is still down for a little while on the Mundo. I don't know if we see any early attempts at this Baron though. Gonna see the immediate ghost here, but Gwen is here and Karma is here. If they can keep Cat Bandito alive, they should be okay, but Nunu is on the other side here, and we see another cleaver is gonna come out, and Gwen might be able to just farm themselves another kill here, but look at the regen coming out with no anti-heal here. They do need some anti-heal. I think Karma should probably get herself like a Oblivion Orb or something just to try and mitigate some of that healing there, because that would have been a kill if they had some form of Grievous Wounds, but unfortunately they didn't, and so the Mundo walks away, and no harm no foul, I guess. We do get mid tier 1, which is actually big. Sivir is getting, she's not catching up, I wouldn't say, she's still 2k down, but getting that gold is great for her. And oh, we see someone in the chat saying they didn't see this being as close. Yeah, I think that 8pro is actually putting in a really good showing, and so is Cat Bandito. We do also have to remember that the Sivir is the substitute player as well, so these guys are playing without bans, without their main AD carry, and Sion's gonna come in here with the ult and gonna land straight on Jesu. We talked about that in the champ select, but now the area control from the Nunu ult is gonna mean that Sion is just gonna go down, and now Gwen's behind 4 members, but I don't think she can do much here. We have Echo firing away 3 people with Braum on the side. Nunu's gonna get in with the smite, take that third Drake there for themselves. And now Gwen is caught with a knock-up, and I think Gwen's probably just gonna die here. The whole team drop on her. Big 3-man W by Talia, and that's gonna be clean up here for the Sivir. Several major shutdowns there for Spiteless, and do you know what? Even though they lost the objective, oh no, don't base there, not like this. Synthetic gets to just pick himself up a cheeky easy kill there, and now Cat Bandito is gonna see if they can keep the Karma alive, but I don't think they can. Okay, Weaver's Wall has to be committed, and I don't know why the big chicken decided to join them on that Weaver's Wall journey, but you know what? We take those. The chicken was like, I want to be with you guys. I don't want to be on the side with the Mundo. You're gonna farm me. And yeah, keeps Espeon alive there. Really well done there by the Talia for sure, who has now got a 3k gold lead after that big shutdown they got onto the Athelios. So all right, let's take stock. We're nearly at 25 minutes. Oh, okay, actually, let's not take stock. Let's talk about the replay first. We'll take stock afterwards. So I could never Talia wall like that. Fair enough, dude. So yeah, the fight starts here in very split fashion. Sion throws himself in. Noodle immediately throws the ult to knock him up to keep her backline safe. They pop the Sion because he is like 3k down and he's not really that tanky considering he's gone for the Titanic Hydra. And now we just have Gwen on the backside here looking for something. She gets knocked up by the Nunu ball, the W, and a little bit of damage there, but not quite enough, unfortunately, for Aiden. But he ends up being a sacrificial lamb in the sense that it sets up a perfect EW combo for the Talia, and then with the boomerang blades, just shreds through 3 of them. And yeah, this play here really well done there by Cat Bandito to keep his Karma safe. Haven't seen too much with the Weaver's Wall as of yet, other than that play. So no major like roams or anything have come out with it. So good to at least see it get some use there. But yeah, as we were saying, all right, we are pretty much at 25 minutes now. So yeah, let's take stock of the situation. The biggest gold lead here is in this mid lane. Cat Bandito has a 3k gold lead over the Echo, over Chapati. Gold is pretty much even in the jungle. Somehow the Nunu has begun to outfarm the Gwen. Gwen did have the lead in the early game, but we saw this in the first series, to be honest. I think this may be maybe an Aiden specific issue. Maybe he doesn't farm so much when it gets to the mid to late game, because he had leads in the early game and they've just kind of been squandered here. And meanwhile, top lane, we see Jason is gonna pop the flash here, but there are 4 members strong just to deal with him, and he's gonna go down. Meanwhile, bot lane, we might see the camera pan down to see what Mundo's getting up to, trying to be held back by the Talia, but I don't know if the Talia can really hold him. Karma does also show, and with the Karma showing, we might see a start on this Baron. There are TPs up though, so Cat Bandito can join, Synthet can join if anything happens. Gwen is getting vision of it now, so Gwen can see. We're gonna see the Needleworks come out. A little bit of poke damage here, half health on the Baron buff. Braum ult gonna come out. I don't think it stops anything. Synthet has begun to channel his TP. Cat Bandito did come down, and this is gonna be a smite fight. We do see the Nunu pick it up. I think he got it with the smite consume combo there, and now maybe looking for the fight. Gwen does poke, and poke is all it is. It's almost like a love tap on the Mundo, but he is so beefy right now. 400 stacks on that Heartsteel, and then just finished his own Titanic Hydra, so looking particularly dangerous. I do want to call attention again to the Scion build here, because we see he's gone for another Spectre's Cowl, which means again he's building MR when the biggest damage threat on the enemy team is this Aphelios, who is shredding with physical damage. So I do worry that this Scion is going to forever be squishy, because while he does have hit points, he's having a hard time here. I think that if that Spectre's Cowl was, say, like a Warden male, and he was going into a Randuin's here, I would be way more confident. But it's actually, the onus here is kind of on Church of the Copium Kings to notice that and just punish it, no? Because right now, Jesu's on three items and 100% crit. He can shred if they give him the chance to. Speaking of shred though, we see Synthet goes to about a third HP, just based purely on aid for his damage. But now he pops the ult and he's gonna chase the Gwen down. Gwen goes into her invulnerability, but don't think anything else is gonna happen. Escape Weavers will pop there. And these guys are fighting over this. Will be Soul if someone can get it. And we see two members here on the backside trying to fight the I believe that is the Scion. Why is Scion in their jungle like this though? That is a very questionable place for him to be. Fortunately, I think all 5 members who didn't need to come, but most of them did, and this has given a little bit of purchase for Smiteless to kind of claim some of the area. But now they're a man down, and it's 5v4, and Echo is making his way in, and this might just have to be a give. Either Aiden's gonna steal it, or they're getting Ocean Soul. And we mentioned, what, 10-15 minutes ago, Ocean Soul would be great for Church of Copium Kings, and they get it. No contest. The only contest really was the Cat Bandito trying to get it with his Q, but I mean, good luck. Their jungler has 2 smites. I don't think it's going to be an easy one to steal with a straight Aaliyah Q, but yeah, that is, I think that does, in my opinion, kind of spell disaster for Smiteless here. The gold lead isn't bad, and in theory, with the right fights, they can still take this game. But it is becoming harder and harder, because, yeah, Mundo already had a Warmogs, but now everybody else in this team basically does too. Gonna land the ult hit onto Jesu and takes him down to half HP, and he's gonna get popped. Easy shutdown hit for the Gwen, and this is a really advantageous fight. They're gonna be able to shut down the Mundo here. 2 shutdowns onto the Gwen, and they're gonna feed over this 3rd shutdown. Triple kill for Aid Pro. And damn, this Gwen's looking pretty spicy. As badly as I was picturing this, they're actually kind of okay right now. How did they, what is the throw? The throw goes crazy, and maybe it's just the Gwen pick. The Gwen pick is too strong right now, you know. We mentioned Nunu is one of the strongest junglers on the patch, but you know, that doesn't mean Gwen is any slouch. She also ate nerfs this patch, but they clearly don't mean anything, because she is really running through the enemy team right now. And it is very hard here for the side of Church of Copium Kings. They have the setup though. This is the thing I don't get. If they just play the proper 5v5 back to back and they let Jesu do his job, they win. Surely they win. But they're not doing it. And that's the 2nd time, by the way. I want to call out, because I know I've been pretty critical of Jason in this game, because there's been several deaths he's had that he didn't need to have. But both of the team fights they won have started off the back of him landing ultimate on the Aphelios. So he's been instrumental here in getting them some of these returning leads, right? Some of the kind of comebacks. And like I said, even if I disagree with his build, even if I disagree with how he laned, this is the thing that got them that winning team fight, you know? This is, yeah, Fiesta's situation right now, but like, yeah, that was, I want to see as well, because I'm pretty sure Mundo stepped out of the way, and it's like, if you're Mundo in that instance, bro, surely you body block for your AD carry. Yeah. But, you know, I'm not in the game. Let me not. I don't understand the situation at hand, you know. Sion here going up against two people. This seems like a bad idea. He has already popped his ultimate there, so he cannot escape anymore. This is just a fight he has to take, but low-key, he's kind of winning it. Ult's going to come out by Echo, and Echo does about maybe a, what, 20-30% of his HP. Meanwhile, Talia and Gwen are going to make quick work of Synthet on the other side of the map, and so this is going to be a trade of kills. We have 2v1 in the top lane, goes the side of Church of Copium Kings, and then 2v1 in the bot lane goes the side of Smiteless. But here it is. Here's the very special Sion pick that just says, oh, I'm dead, bro. No, I'm not dead, bro. I get to go and farm anyway. I don't care. What, you have a wave? That looks kind of nice. I'm gonna eat that wave, especially with Hollow Radiance and Titanic Hydra. Those waves don't exist to him. They just nom 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 nom. He's got a 40 CS lead on Synthet right now, even though he's 1-10. And that is the inherent power of the Sion, you know? He dies to win, the Baus effect. But Baron is back up here, and we have Elder in 2 minutes, so I don't know whether or not there's going to be a priority here. I'm trying to make sure we get that Baron, or if we're going to wait a couple minutes and see if we can get the Elder. Weaver's Wall is going to come out here, and they do think they have a pick here onto Mahasvara. He's going to flash, he gets the cone, and he is safe, but there's a TP coming in here by Synthet. I really hope he doesn't push too far though, because we have seen him be punished too many times here already. And yeah, no, I agree with the Twitch chat here. As soon as he builds some anti-crit, as soon as he builds the Randuins, it's so cooked, but he hasn't built them. He's not even building them now. He's got a Chain Vest. Chain Vest does not go into Randuins at all. That's going to be like a, I don't even know, maybe like a Thornmail, I'm guessing. In which case, if you had the 800 gold, why would you not build the Bramble Vest? But maybe it's going into something else. I'm not 100% sure. Everything I can think of that Chain Vest goes into is just like Thornmail or Sunfire Cape. But no, it can't be Sunfire Cape. He's already got Barmies. Oh, big 3-man. Oh, but the Sion's going to pop 3 people. Gwen gets another triple kill. And that's going to be another one. Oh my god, is that just a clean ace? Holy shit. They actually took the lead. The team fighting from Smiteless is just miles ahead of Church of Copium Kings. That is crazy. They do have a wave. They just need to nurse this wave into the base, and I think they take the game. Genuinely, everyone will respawn at the same time for Church of Copium Kings, but like, it's 20 seconds away. I don't think it matters. You know, we've got Siva, we've got Gwen. They're going to eviscerate these turrets. They don't stand a chance. They're going to go down before even Noodle gets up in 10 seconds. And that is so massively surprising. But game 1 is going over to Smiteless. It's going over to the Outcasts. And I don't know what I just watched, boys. That is crazy. Aaron, talk to me. How you feel about that one? How many people just lost money on the predictions? I want to see. Who's molding? Who's molding? Who's molding? No, I agree 100%. I think that one was a crazy game there. Look at the amount of damage. Look at the difference in the damage for the junglers here. Obviously, that was an expectation. Don't get me wrong. Nunu does not do the damage Gwen does. Gwen is one of those kind of 1v9 champions, especially against tanks. But Sion did a reasonable amount of damage considering how bad his scoreline looked. I do still think his build was in. I still think he built really badly, but his engages were clutch. In the heat of battle, he did not miss. Do you know what I'm saying? In the dead moments,
in the kind of the moments where the game was chill and you didn't need to be super intense, he was getting boomed by Synthet. But in the important point of the game, you know, where he needed to land the clutch engage, because you'll remember when we were talking about draft, I was like, oh, how did they knock out the Aphelios, bro? How did they stop him? They have no easy CC. There's only one way, the Scion ult. Jason just locked the fuck in, and he landed 3 of them back to back to back in major team fights, and allowed his team to just smoke the enemy team. So for as poorly as he built and as poorly as he laned, some of those late game engages, it didn't matter, bro. You take those trades because that is what gave them that win, and that's what gave them, you know, they're only 1 game away from making themselves clear-cut top team in the group right now. So honestly, very, very well done to come back from that. And I want to shout out, I think the very, very strong play by Cat Bandito in the early to mid game. He was the only person on his team that was ahead throughout the entire game. Sivir obviously began to out damage as we got further into the game, but Cat Bandito was always with like a 1k gold lead over Chapati. The Echo had a very hard time getting into this game, and it was largely due to how oppressive the Talia was. And then, yeah, in that late game, once the items are in, Aiden knew what he was doing, and he eviscerated those tanks. He popped in. But yeah, either way, I think unless there's anything else you need to cover, Aaron, I think we should cut to a break and get ready for some game two prep. Match point.
Yeah.
All right, people, welcome back. We just watched something
something special. That was a crazy comeback game. You love to see him. As yeah, that honestly, I feel like that was illegal. Like genuinely, that game was kind of. It felt like it was kind of over for like the first 20 minutes because the lane was so brutally one-sided in top lane, and then it just didn't matter because in the crucial moments they didn't defend the Aphelios. Like Aphelios was primed to carry. He had a 3k gold lead, but as we saw in the post-game stats, as we saw in the damage stats, like he didn't actually get a chance to really do the things he wanted to because the Scion just kept getting onto him, dude. Like honestly, it was crazy. The Scion was landing some clutch engages for as badly as he played lane and as badly as he itemized. Those ultimates just made the difference in those last two major fights. And now, just to clarify for all watching, we do have full bans for Smiteless because it is now game 2. They have decided to sub out their, well, funnily enough, their sub AD carry. So they were supposed to be playing with Loopy 19 initially in game 1. Unfortunately, unforeseen circumstances, they missed game 1. They have returned for game 2. So they have their main AD carry now. Shout outs to Andy or Forever Elo Hell, who played the Sivir in game 1. But we might, if this goes to a game 3, they might sub him back in. We don't know. But we're gonna see triple jungler bans out here by Smiteless, trying to really pinch Mahasvara's pool. So they get rid of Diana, who for my money is the best jungler on the patch, and then they get rid of Amumu and Jarvan, which are Mahasvara staples. Meanwhile, Church of Copium Kings try to hard pinch on Loopy 19's pool here. So we see they remove the MF, they remove the Smolder, they remove the Ashe. First pick here for Aid Pro is going to be the Nocturne in the jungle. So we know we're going dive. Gonna have to see how they draft around it though, because as an avid Nocturne player, B1ing Nocturne is really difficult in competitive play. In solo queue, I will do it every day. I don't care. But in this kind of environment where they're going to be actually drafting to accommodate for it, it's going to be hard for you to get onto the targets you need to get onto. Look, we see there immediately the Morgana is going to be picked up for Noodle in the support role here. And I'm noticing a pattern here in the draft that Church of Copium Kings seem to R1, R2 their bot lane a lot. Because they did it last game. They did Aphelios Braum, and that's kind of a double-edged sword. If you double barrel pick your bot lane, there's no way, if the enemy team now have the option to counter, right? Don't get me wrong, in this instance, Caitlyn Morgana is quite hard to counter, but Jinx is a very good pick into that because she is one of the few champions that can outrange Caitlyn. And now they can just pick something safe, something enchanter based in the support role, which again is very much in Espion's wheelhouse. Maybe something like a Lulu, something like a Nami, something like let me think. I would have said Karma, but Karma's is obviously out. And maybe a Seraphine type angle, I say as I see Tuba in the chat. I called it. Let's go. I just said Seraphine because I saw Tuba's name in the chat, and then boom, immediately gets picked up. And then they are gonna, they blind hit the R3 Aatrox, so they don't want to risk letting the Aatrox get banned here in the stage of the second stage bans. So instead they just say, nah, kill the hype, get the one trick pony his one champ, and accept that he might. I mean, considering how the early lane went on the Mundo, I say it's fair enough. If you're trusting that it doesn't matter what Jason picks, you're gonna beat him, then yeah, go for it. Ego pick your favorite champion top. And then you see what they're going to commit 2 bans on some of the worst matchups here for the Aatrox. Malphite obviously is a very annoying champion to deal with, one of the stronger champions on this patch as well. And then Yorick is just, I don't know if the lane is bad for him when you're playing Aatrox, but I do know that he does warp the game so that you have to play around him. Like, you have to always accommodate for and always have at least one person there to de-push his push, because if you don't, he just takes immediately the turrets. You know, he's a shredder of the neutral objectives. And they're gonna R for the jungle here, so they're giving priority pick here for Chapati in the mid lane. I think this is a wise choice because I mean they already I don't even know why they left the jungle to second rotation, other than just a priority pick the Aatrox, right? Getting the Ivan here, if they can play through Jesu, if they can play through the Caitlyn, Ivan is a great champion to do that with, right? He has shields, he has heals, he has all the ways of being able to buff Caitlyn. I imagine he also probably can use Bandle Pipes quite well, but I don't know if that's what they're going to go for. Meanwhile, Smiteless are going to round out their draft here. They get the LeBlanc in the mid lane, so looking at they do have to blind mid here, so they go for something that should be a kill lane. Obviously, Cat Bandito did really punish Chapati in the mid lane in that game, so you know, just looking to probably try to capitalize on it more this time, right? He was able to kind of neutralize the Echo. Now he wants to kill whatever Chapati plays, and it looks like he's taking Nico in the mid lane here. They did hit him with a couple of bans. They got rid of the Galio and the Silas, so the Silas is obviously a champion I don't think we've seen him play in officials, but he's has played it in scrims. And then we're rounding out our top lane by Mordekaiser into the Aatrox. So yeah, I don't like that. I don't dislike that. I think Mordekaiser is a very strong pick. I think Mordekaiser very similar to the Scion in the sense that it doesn't really matter how far down he falls. Like if he's not strong, he can walk into any given fight, press R on Caitlyn, and then Church of Copium King's draft falls apart. A lot of their damage is riding on Caitlyn and Aatrox getting ahead. Nico is not, like, she's got high base damage, but she's not like a hyper carry champion. She's not a person who you can sit in the back line and let her just DPS, right? It could be Nico support. You're 100% right there, Tuber. It could be Nico support and Morgana mid. That would also be an interesting one. I think, knowing Noodle, that it is Nico mid. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. One thing I do want to say is I don't think Smiteless have really built around the Nocturne here either. Nocturne has no meaningful support. LeBlanc can kind of join him, but other than LeBlanc, there's nothing else for him really. Seraphine and Jinx are going to stay in the back line. Mordekaiser is going to be kind of up front, but he's not going to be able to. He doesn't have movement or like any kind of utility to be able to bring him to where Nocturne goes, right? So the Nocturne jungle is I'm gonna be keeping an eye on him. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think they've drafted around it, right? So he's probably not going to be able to fly onto people unless those people are already within range of his team, because his team doesn't have a way to join him if he goes too far away. So, you know, Paranoia will still be super strong in this series, in this game, but I don't think it will be as oppressive as it could have been. They obviously have the very easy win con here of the Jinx as well. You know, having the hyper carry is the goat. So yeah, bro, I'm trying my best, Misko. Predictions are live for game 2, so if anybody wants to lose some more Stimo coins, it's time to drop the coinage. You want is it SMT or is it cock win in this one, boys? This is the one time a heal build is okay, as she isn't the main damage source and on a support budget. Oh, we talking about the Seraphine? I mean, Seraphine is the support in this instance, so yeah, I imagine you build support, no? There, we got 3k gold, 3k Stimo on cock, 1.1k Stimo on Smiteless. Sorry, I don't know why, I just 3k on cock makes me laugh, but alas. How do we feel about Ivan top Aatrox jungle thoughts? And Filgers is cooking, bro. Holy. Like, I mean, technically, I guess, but I don't see how it's better than Aatrox top and Ivan jungle in this instance. True, yes, valid. Don't pin that. Aaron, how are you feeling about the drafts? Oh shit, this guy had to flash it on stream is crazy. I'm cool.
Well, I think that's the first LeBlanc, if I'm correct.
Of the Winter Open 2026, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Potentially first Mordekaiser.
No, I think there's been a few Mordekaisers. I think there's been 1 or 2, yeah.
And maybe the first Ivan.
It is, I believe, the first Ivan, yes. It may also be the first Nico as well.
Maybe. And does everyone know about the somewhat Nico tech this season?
No. Where's the Nico tech this season?
So, I can't remember which wave it is, but there is a wave of minions that is less minions now. It is, I believe, 2 melee minions instead of
right.
3. So
yeah, because they do. There's waves every 30 seconds now, as opposed to was every 45, right? So they tried to like lower the minion amount so that it wasn't just feeding everybody way more minions per minute. They tried to equal it out. Damn, someone dropped 9k on Smiteless. Holy
shit.
Shit.
Well, I'm hoping they win because I need to bounce. But with that Nico tech, if players don't know about it, haven't recognized that, there's a minion less, that Nico could transform into that minion and get some good Pop Blossoms. That's the ult.
Yeah. No, Pop Blossom, I think, is the. I'm just gonna look it up, dude. Pop Blossom is one of her abilities. You're 100% right. I think it's the Q. I think it's the one that every time it pops, if it hits an enemy, it creates another one. No, sorry, I'm thinking of Blooming Burst. Pop Blossom is the ult. You are right. Yeah, you should be casting, bro, not me. You know more than I do, bro.
But we could see some good Nico engages.
Yeah, does anybody know in the chat, if someone can confirm for me, have they removed the Nico minion turret dive tech? I don't expect to see it because it's Weenie Hut Junior bracket, but like if it's still in the game, that could be something they could have used 100%. But again, I don't expect to see it, but if it's in the game, then they have removed it. Okay.
Now, because that was about the Jace
insane
tech? No, we don't have the Jace on in this champ select, but the Jace tech is I forgot what the item is. There is an item that you can
I know what you're talking about. It's the new like lethality item. It builds out the brutalizer, and when you hit a turret you do like 2k true damage to it if you're melee. But then obviously Jace is a champion that can, if he can throw the auto attack out when he's in range, press R and it will treat him like a melee champion and do 2k damage from like 600 meters or something.
Yeah,
or whatever it's called, 600 units.
So you can literally clear a tower, in just one wave. Will we see anyone bring out Jace with this tech before it gets patched out? I do not know.
I don't know if we've seen Bastion Breaker is the one. Yes, Misko, good job. I don't know if we've seen any Jace yet. I've only seen Jace one time, and it was in a custom game we played in jungle, and I was like, is Jace jungle a thing now? And I don't really know. I think because picked once in LCK.
With that particular item, it does give you extra damage to epic monsters. So it's not only just towers, it is epic monsters. So that's why Jace jungle, which I was confused about, is becoming a thing. But we don't have Jace here.
No,
we have an Ivan.
No, we don't. We do have Ivan, the thing is, for me, the Ivan pick, I'm very interested to see how it plays. Because again, like I think the issue with last game is that they had a very strong Fed 80 carry and they didn't play properly around him. And so now they've gone harder on that concept. They've picked a very strong early game 80 carry so that Jesu can build a lead for himself very easily. And they've even picked a supportive defensive jungler now as opposed to an engaging jungler. Again, specifically to Peel, specifically to Kite for the 80 carry. And they've got Black Shield in the support, like they've got options here to try and keep the Caitlyn as safe as possible. But when push came to shove in the game, last game, they didn't play around Jesu. They played around Synthet. And then kind of egos got the best of some of us, and they didn't respect the kind of tank shred that was built into, having a Leandries on the or on the Talia, which obviously is great for shredding tanks, and then having a Gwen who just shreds tanks in general. So this game, you know, I think it could go one of two ways. I think if I think Smiteless, if they win, they're winning because Church of Copium Kings are tilted, and because or because they don't play their comp correctly. Because again, like I said, they've gone on a kind of protect the president. Caitlyn is our glorious leader here, right? And so if they don't play that correctly, then they will get rolled. But if they haven't tilted, I think that there's every opportunity here. Caitlyn is one of the strongest AD carries on the patch right now. She does insanely well just stacking AD. She's also a crit champ, like she's a crit AD carry as well. So she loves all the new crit changes. If you can get 100% crit on her, it's fucking busted. She's got great range. She's got great kind of early bully potential against Jinx as well. Jinx is a champion that doesn't like, you know, too much aggro in the early game. She can outrange Caitlyn with her rockets, but they cost too much mana for her to rely on it sustainably in the early game. So she runs the risk of, I can either farm in danger indefinitely, or I can farm safely for a set amount of time before I run out of mana. And Seraphine as well. Seraphine into the Morgana. I don't know how I feel about it, to be fair. I think I like the Morgana Caitlyn more than I like the Jinx Seraphine, to be honest with you. Because if they can land a Dark Binding, then the Caitlyn can immediately trap under it, and then that person just dies. They're both, you know, Jinx and Seraphine are very squishy. And
the Dark Binding followed by the Pot Blossom.
In the later stages of the game, when we get to the more kind of team fight oriented areas, you can go Morgana Q into, doesn't Nico have like a root in her E, I think it is, or something?
Maybe.
And then you've got Ivan's Q is also a route that allows all of the melee champions to just fly towards the champ, so that sets up the Aatrox. Aatrox has multiple knockups as well with his Q. His W will pull people back into the center of it. They have so much in terms of good CC options. My only fear is, again, unless Synthet gets massively ahead in lane again, I think that they will lack damage if they don't properly play around Caitlyn. And if Caitlyn dies, they have kind of no damage, to be honest. Whereas the other side, depending on how this Nocturne builds, he will have good damage, especially sustained damage, and he's going like lethal tempo, experimental hex play, you know, stride breaker. His damage in extended fights against champions like Aatrox, against champions like Ivan, he should be able to win those trades, especially if someone on his team has some anti-heal as well. And then Jinx is great in the extended fights. LeBlanc, I think LeBlanc might have a hard time unless she's able to easily get onto Caitlyn. Again, if the defensive players here, if Mahasvara and Noodle play their roles correctly and keep Caitlyn as safe as possible, it should be very hard for Cat Bandito to be able to get on top of her. And once Caitlyn has enough items, she should be able to two-shot LeBlanc. But we saw how ahead Cat Bandito got in the game one on the Talia. So if he can do the same thing here to Chapati on the mid lane, he should in theory make this Nico an afterthought. And then we start to roam. And when we start to roam, you know, LeBlanc is very good at being able to dive even in between turrets, trying to find this Caitlyn, you know, in places they might not even expect. One thing we haven't mentioned at all, I think Smiteless, their team comp has a deadly death bush. You know, LeBlanc can sit in an unwarded bush and wait for someone to walk up, and then when we look at the other side, everyone apart from Aatrox should get one shot if LeBlanc has like one or two items, is not like meaningfully behind the curve of the game, and just gets her entire combo off from like Fog of War, you know? It was just full burst combos them from a bush when they're trying to gum up for vision or something, you know? That's definitely a way I can see Smiteless getting ahead in this game. And then they also just have really good team fighting, in my opinion. They don't have any meaningfully like clean engage. Their best engage tool is the Seraphine ult or Nocturne throwing himself in, but again, no one can back him up. Like, there's him throwing himself in with Paranoia doesn't also bring his team with him, so there's a little bit of danger there, in the sense that, you know, outside of, again, the Seraphine ultimate, they don't have too much in the way of starting fights, but they have a lot of power to kind of pick people off. And a little bit of a cheeky invade here. I don't actually think they're going to steal it though. Oh no, they are. Okay. So Ivan is one of the quicker clearing champions because he doesn't, his pacifist nature, he doesn't actually fight the camps, you know? Just immediately takes that shit and laughs his way to the bank, you know? So that's pretty good here, I think, for Mahaswara. They got completely unseen on the play. I don't think the 8 Pro is going to go in parallel, like, you know, kind of parallel jungle here, cut the map in half, because it would mean he'd have to play for his top side, and he wants to play for his bot side here. But yeah, he gets that camp. He's gonna be able to because he's setting up to take the other camps here as well. He's got to wait for the timer on his passive though before he can actually pop them, and he's gonna show now. If 8 Pro is paying attention, he will see on that ward that his red buff has been taken. We'll have to see if he sees it though. I don't know if he does. No pings have come out, so it seems as though he hasn't seen it. And I think they're just gonna keep going. So this should mean that Mahaswara gets a 1 camp lead. And more importantly, 8 Pro shouldn't be level 4 when it comes to getting the crab. He should be level 3. So we'll see what happens. But right now, early laning, kind of going pretty chill. Jason taking a bit of damage there. Equal though, really in health here. Only thing I'll say is that Aatrox is happy to take these trades because his passive gives him massive healing. Meanwhile, bot lane, Loopy is faring a little better into Jesu than Andy did in the early game. But oh, this is gonna maybe be a little bit of a first blood action here. Passive is gonna come here for the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser takes the turret shot though. First blood over to Synthet, and it might be a tail that we've seen before here with the top lane. I think Jason just having a really hard time kind of finding his footing in this lane. You know, he's obviously we saw in that game 1 in the team fights he put in a shift, but in the lane he got bullied and abused, and it might be much the same story in this one here, even on the Mordekaiser, who is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more kind of built to take those kind of skirmishes than the Scion is. He did take Ignite as well, by the way. I didn't actually say that when we looked at the champions, but he has opted to take Ignite here, so he's looking for the aggression and still lost the fight. Whereas Synthet took TP, meaning he can take some kind of suboptimal bases. And yeah, you see he gets a double longsword here for his troubles. Meanwhile, it's just an amp tome on the side of Mordekaiser. Mid lane is kind of equal, 6 CS in the lead for the LeBlanc, and okay, we go back top and it's just more beef. Mordekaiser just carries on the assault here. Not Noodle. Chapati is gonna get locked up, does get to walk away though. I think Cat Bandito was not comfortable enough to take a turret shot there to try and pursue that kill, and you know what, he at least has control of the lane. Chapati is going to have to TP back in as well, so it's not the cleanest for him here. Mordekaiser does have a wave here. We see Ivan is showing up, but okay, he misses the Q, and ooh, okay, Synthet took a ton of damage there, and luckily for him, his wave is here now, so he's no longer isolated. Mordekaiser's sitting on his W there as well. He was fully charged with the with his bar there, ready to try and fight there. And oh, I think this might be a kill here. No, yeah, Synthet's gonna get it. Okay. I didn't see the Q come out there by Mordekaiser, and that's another kill on the side of Church of the Copium Kings. Synthet 2-0. Again, we have seen this before, right? He's just kind of running it here in the lane. 600 gold lead here for Aatrox, but this time I think it's different because Aatrox is Synthet's main champion. It's something I've seen him perform on in previous tournaments. I've seen him play it in scrims recently to great effect, and then I've seen his performance even in Winter 25 on the champion was very clean. Seraphine takes a ton of damage there, and if that Q hit, that was going to be death for her. But on the other side here, we see 8pro shows up, takes that kill. I think you should have left that one for the Jinx. I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I think Jinx is going to be the person who carries your game for you in this one. But do you know what? Fair enough. It's going to accelerate him a little bit over this Ivan. Ivan is already about 10 CS down. So even despite the buff, right? The buff being taken, he is still somehow down here by, yeah, what were we saying? 10 CS roughly? Not 6, but he's gonna be able to, we see, did he ward it? No, he didn't. He went to look and see if the blue buff is off, but he's now chose to leave it in favor of ganking top again. And I don't know how I feel about this pathing by Mahaswara. Like we mentioned in Champ Select, they have drafted here specifically to try and make Jesu the hyper carry, but we haven't seen any priority bot side here. Ultima going to be popped by Aatrox, going to land this first Q, second Q, third kill here for him, and they're going to be training that kill there for the Drake. So Mountain Drake going to be handed over on a silver platter to Smiteless. And correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but does this not feel identical to game 1?
This feels exactly identical. Jason Matt is running it down, is doing a bow special on a non-bout champ. And, well, Dragon goes over to the blue side again. It's I don't know what he's trying to do, you know, if it's trying to be like, oh look, you have a gold lead, look, you got these kills. He's trying to like put, you know, play mind games with him, but he's like, nah, do you know what, I'm gonna come back late game.
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned it earlier, and Mordekaiser, much like Sion, is a champion where he can kind of be low econ, because really the reason you pick a Mordekaiser is to take someone else on the enemy team out of the fight. You know, if he can become that kind of unkillable juggernaut champion, then yes, great. But at lowest value point, if we are taking him at his floor, he walks into a team fight, and if he survives long enough to press R, he presses R on the most fed person in the fight, and then the rest of his team can fight the other less fed members of the enemy team, while he steals the resistances and some of the damage of the main carry. He's probably still going to lose in Death Realm, but just being able to remove that carry for 2 to 3 seconds, however many seconds it takes before he dies, can be enough to allow his team, who hopefully are still equal in gold or maybe ahead, to actually win the fight. And then when the guy comes back after having killed the Mordekaiser, well, now it's like a 3v1 or something, and there's no way that the Caitlyn wins that, right? And so, you know, I can still see a world here where Smiteless win this, and we see Aatrox is going for this. He's going for the greed, pops his ult to get a flash, and that is, I think that's a worthwhile trade. And we see here the grubs are going to be free reign for Church of Copium Kings, deciding to again just favor this top side here. We can see Chapati is floating here to try and keep the LeBlanc away. Seraphine did actually path up top here, so this is actually really good for Church of Copium Kings if they can use this time to try and punish the Jinx. We can see a 20 CS lead building in the bot lane, and with Jinx having been abandoned here so that Espeon can try and help on a futile objective take, is actually pretty good for them. Only thing I'd say that's a positive is solo XP here for Loopy will be good for her. I don't know how much she is ahead or behind in XP. They are the same level currently, but we'll have to see. 300 gold lead here for the Caitlyn. Oh no, that Dark Binding is gonna be a kill for sure. Ignite's gonna come out. Paranoia comes out to try and keep the Jinx safe, but the clutch healing by Espeon is gonna be able to keep Jinx alive. And now 8pro kills Jesu, and this is gonna go really badly here for the side of Church of Copium Kings. That looked like the freest kill I'd ever seen, and then she just about lived on about maybe 70 HP, and the barrier came out, and the Paranoia came out, and then the the stray walk-in heal from Espeon on the Seraphine, and that, I think that couldn't have gone worse, arguably. Luckily there for Nico, she didn't actually get popped there by Cat Bandito on the LeBlanc. Actually a very equal trade. I think both of them will have to base here. Super Mega Death Rocket just went wide of the Nico there. So close, but not quite enough. And yeah, we just crashed that. Well, we're now.
And Jason Matt died again.
I don't want to talk about it. I wanted to leave him a little bit of dignity. You know, he's gonna die again here. It looks like.
No, that's not Jason.
Oh, sorry, that's Aid Pro. Yeah, my bad. I just saw top lane beef, and it looked like. I was like, yep, yeah, it must be Jason, boys. But okay, we see flashes by both parties there. So I don't think that's worth it there for Aatrox. Aatrox's flash is more valuable to Aatrox than Nocturne's flash is to Nocturne. Because Nocturne can still gank as soon as Paranoia is back up, and he doesn't care that he doesn't have flash. Meanwhile, Aatrox with no flash is way more gankable. But yeah, here we go. We get to see the replay here. The root comes in. Noodle does almost get it, but yeah, that just really clutch kind of timing by Espeon. Right place, right time. Clutches up and saves the AD carry there. And then the rest of the play is elementary. There's nothing else to be done here. Double kill quickly over to Aid Pro. But yeah, very good placement there. Very good knowledge and awareness of where to be by the Seraphine. And also, thanks Home Guards, because that play wouldn't have been possible. That would have been a solo kill, or a 2v1 kill even, for Church of Copium Kings had the Home Guards not been present there. And another solo kill. Jesus Christ, bro. Oh, the top lane is looking pretty dire here. What I would like to see from Church of Copium Kings is they have such a large gold lead on this Aatrox. They need to move him. So they need to get this turret top as swiftly as they can, and they need to start playing around him because he's very strong right now. He's, you know, if they can get team fights with him in there where he's landing his abilities on multiple people, they will die. So why do he believe that it's going to change with fighting top? I don't know, bro. I think Jason's just he's perma on the smoke. You know, he just he just permanently wants the beef. And he's like, do you guys remember there was those memes? I think it was last year. There was that one guy. It was like it was like some kind of like reality TV show out of Atlanta, and it was this dude with hella tattoos, and he would just fight everyone. And he lost almost all the fights, but he would just keep fighting people. That might be an obscure reference. I don't remember his name. But that is definitely what it feels like I'm watching right now with Jason Matt.
What rank is Jason Matt?
He peaked gold 2 last year, but I put him as a silver because of his performance in previous tournaments.
Okay, because right now his performance should put him in bronze.
Where he's to be fair, he is up against the plat top laner. I'll give him a little bit of credit, but
okay.
He does, yeah, he does need to put the brakes on it, because right now, I'm not gonna lie there, I kind of thought Synthet was about to ult and just get himself his 6th kill, but he did not, and so I think he's at the mercy right now of the Aatrox. And wait, what? Moving Aatrox cucks every other lane. How do you work that one? As long as you match it, I think regardless if they put Nico top or if they put the bot lane top, I think it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as everybody's catching all their waves. The Aatrox is really strong right now and they need to play around him. But yeah, we're gonna see 3-level lead here in the top lane for the Aatrox as well. He is just having a very easy game of it right now. And yeah, I think as soon as they kill, role quests are done, dude. Everybody has their role quest already. What are you talking about? Well, look, you can see all of their role quests are complete, apart from I think maybe support. But yeah, either way. Gonna try and kill the Nico here, but Nico isn't gonna die. Meanwhile, 2 people here on the top side fishing for this Mordekaiser, but LeBlanc makes their presence known. Just about keeps the Mordekaiser alive. And yeah, the support. I'm talking about the red side though, is the thing. Like, it wouldn't be a problem for the blue side if Aatrox moves from top to mid, you know, like for their role quests, doesn't matter. But yeah. either way, as we crack 15 minutes here, we have a 1k gold lead clean here for the side of Church of Copium Kings. But 2k of that 1k gold lead is actually on the top lane, so that means that everywhere else on the map we actually have a 1k gold lead for Smiteless, and Noodle is going to take a ton of damage here from Espeon and from Loopy on the Jinx there. Might have to base to keep herself safe here. Didn't actually mention it earlier in the game, but she did go for the Ignite, and considering they haven't actually manifested much of a gold lead here in the bot lane, it's not the greatest right now. But I'll say at least they're going even, although going even right now is maybe not what you want for the hyper carry of your team. And the Jinx, who is a stronger hyper carry than the Caitlyn, is happy to go even right now, you know? She's got her wild arrows, she's going to be building towards her second item. When she's on second, third items, I think she's more dangerous than Caitlyn is. Her ability to run over a team fight is way higher. I don't know if the build here is correct for Caitlyn. I don't know if that first item is the one people are going traditionally. I'd have assumed it might have been like Collector or maybe Yunta Wild Arrows if you're going crit, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most knowledgeable person on that. Any AD carry mains up in the chat can inform me otherwise. But I believe that one is the item that gives them, it cares about your max range, doesn't it? So in theory here, what Caitlyn wants to be doing is hitting people from max range with auto attacks with Ace in the hole to get as much damage as she can. But I don't know if it's working out too much here. They do still have a 20 CS lead, we can say that much. But because of the assists Jinx has, it's only really turning into about 150 gold. So it is a negligible lead. You can do both. Fair. I want to kind of highlight, I haven't seen Mahesvara do much here on this Ivan. He's ganked top 1 or 2 times, but I mean, we already established that Synthet's probably going to get solo kills anyway, as we're about to see he might do again. W gonna come out, gonna lock up the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser doesn't even take it to the death realm, just lets the death happen. And now blue side are looking to try and punish on the other side of the map, but Ivan is nearby. This is not an easy dive with the Ivan here, and 8Pro is just gonna base. The enemy team do no hit. We're gonna see, ooh, flashes come out. They still land the Q hit onto the Jinx. Heal's gonna come out to try and keep herself safe. Ace in the hole's gonna come out. Does no damage though. I was expecting way more damage out of that Ace in the hole. The Seraphine ult comes out here. LeBlanc is on the other side, and I don't think they know about it. They didn't have vision. Ivan might get popped. Nico is going to get it with a Pop Blossom. Double kill here for the Nico, and LeBlanc is going to walk away. Nothing gained for her there. Very good, though, for the side of Church of Copium Kings, because they, with that, actually bring the Nico back into the game a bit, you know? She was about 400 or 500 gold down, so getting that double kill is actually really big for her. Maud's item choices are quite weird too, I would say. Yeah, I'd have gone Rylai's. I don't think that the Leandries was the right choice. I think, especially when you're getting popped this hard, like they don't have that many tanks. You're not too worried about doing massive damage over time. But either way, I mean, I think it's less criminal than his build in the first game. We'll put it that way. And yeah, the Nico. Oh, did she? She actually hit as a minion. Oh, hell no. Oh, big ups to Chapati Master there. Right there. Yeah. Oh god, hold up. So we see Seraphine ult comes out, lands on 2. Because yeah, when the Seraphine ult came out, I thought it was kind of clutch. And then yeah, you see they just didn't respect the fact that the Nico was there. I want the comms for what happened when that Nico just appeared. I think that would be top tier content to see the, because I could tell you, I know the AD carry from Smiley, she probably screamed. So I'm just like, that would have been content. But either way. Fuck, I'm starting to lose my voice. Aaron, take over for 2 minutes.
Oh shit, I have to take over. Oh. Where do we see this game going, people? You know, this is 2.7 gold lead in the top lane. And, oh, I think this is Jason Matt's day again. Oh, maybe not. I don't think we're going to see what we saw in the first game. You know, the turnaround. Unless Mordekaiser can get a pick. Like, oh, right, no, not now, clearly. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. I think Church of Coping Kings are in a winning position, and with that Nico ult in the bot lane, if they don't, if Smiteless don't, you know, words do not come to me, don't respect it, don't respect the minion count, they will suffer for that. Just like there, you just saw on the mini-map, she was just a minion, just walking through. If they don't respect that, then when it comes to team fights, they are just going to get ulted, thrown up in the air, and it is going to be game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that it looks less likely because what I would say is it's harder for Jason to be useful with basically 0 income on this champion. Like with the Scion, we were able to see him land clutch engages that set up his team to be able to actually carry. But on the Mordekaiser, all he can do is take one person away. And when we see engages like this catch people off guard again, damn, the Nico is just catching people off guard routinely. They're just not counting the minions here and not respecting the Nico power here. And honestly, for what kind of feels like a little bit of a cheese pick, it's actually really working out here. And we see the Seraphine ult come out, but it doesn't land on anyone. LeBlanc does get good damage out here, and they should be able to kill the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn flashes out, and she's got the shielding here by Ivan, gonna keep her safe. And yeah, so, you know, we're a little over 20 minutes in game, and I want to kind of talk a couple things here. So I think that Church of Copium Kings have not put as much focus bot side as I would have liked, but equally, we need to mention the fact that Cat Bandito has not had as much of an effect in this game as he did in the previous one, right? So he has a massive CS lead, but he hasn't been able to actualize it into anything meaningful. Like, we've seen no kills, he's not even had an assist, he's not been a part of any meaningful plays in this game at all. He has a 600 gold lead, and it's purely based on CS. Meanwhile, the Nico here has been a part of several big plays, even if they didn't get all the kills. You know, 2-0-1 isn't like insane kill participation, but like the plays that they were a part of definitely wouldn't have worked had the Nico not been there. She's been instrumental in gaining those advantages, and yeah, they have finally switched lane assignments.
There you go, she changed it to the melee minion, abusing the fact that people do not know about the component, just dives in.
Immediately there onto the Jinx, and Mahasfara sneaks that kill away. And oh, they're gonna start the Baron up here. Okay, they do have all 4 members here. We've got Aatrox on the side lane. They don't have vision of this though, so I can't see anyone moving. You know, we see Jason is gonna show up. Does actually see that they're okay, as if it weren't obvious that they were on it because of the bushes there. He places the ward in to see if he can see them, and there's a pink there, so he can't really do anything. And I think they are going to just give this over. Paranoia is going to get popped, but there's no actual eligible targets for him right now. And yeah, that's a very clean Baron take right there. Spell Shield going to be popped to allow Aid Pro into the actual pit, and they do get Jesu here. But now the fight's going to be on the other side of the pit, and they're going to bring 4 members strong straight down here onto Mordekaiser. Hot Blossom's going to lock down Jason, and he's going to go down. And correct me if I'm wrong, did I see that say someone was legendary? Yeah, Synthac's 8-0 right now. He's cooking. He's cooking. And they've got Baron here as well, so I'd like to see whether or not they can actually do anything with it, you know? I don't remember the Baron being too impactful in the last game. If I remember correctly, there was only one play around Baron, and it was actually the fight at the Baron that cost the game. So it wasn't the buff itself that was impactful, it was the attempt to take it that was the problem.
Yeah,
so now we have a clean Baron
with it. I think last game. It's not as
we got
We got a clean Baron take here, no casualties. We're about to maybe have a clean Dragon take here, although we do have several members of Smiteless around the back of the pit. No jungler though. The jungler is miles away right now. Aatrox is going to play guard duty to keep the Jinx away, and they are going to secure Soul Point here. 4k gold lead. Super Mega Death Rocket goes out, but it does not hit anything. And on the other side of the map, though, Jason's going to get himself a cheeky tier 1. So, going to shore up a little bit of the gold lead there, I hope. He only took 200 off of it, but, you know, it's better than nothing, boys. It's better than nothing. And then we go straight back here into the minutia of it. They've gotten one turret hero for this Baron play. So... not terrible, but not great either. We haven't seen much like lane control here in terms of keeping their waves pushed, right? They do have 3 members here coming down mid. So they've got the Caitlyn, they've got the Ivan, they've got the Morgana. They've sent Nico topside to try and get shoved in top so that they can start maybe trying to pressure that top tier 2. And then Aatrox is in the bot lane pressuring bot tier 2. Nocturne shows himself there for some reason. He does have paranoia, so he could have flown in if he wanted to, but fortunately, I guess his team wasn't nearby, so it would have been a dangerous call to make. And having shown all of their members, they now lose that top tier bot tier 2. So it's the second turret here picked up for Church of Copium Kings. And if Jinx gets next item, might be able to just 5v1 if they get a kill. Yeah, I agree. If she can get that third item, what would it be? Renan's Hurricane. But it doesn't really matter because she's going to get caught here by the Pot Blossom. Paranoia is going to come out immediately onto the Caitlyn, but I don't think Nocturne's going to be able to do anything here. Super Mega Death Rocket goes through the goalposts, and they can't get anything here. LeBlanc does still come in to kill Jesu, but it is a 3v1, and now Mordekaiser and Aatrox are fighting on the side lane. Cat Bandito flashes away to make sure he's not in danger. And now it's a 3v3 mid and then a 1v1 here in the bot lane. And I think Mordekaiser should still die here. Oh, look at the damage on that Q3 by Synthet. He is legendary right now. He is looking really, really dangerous. Yeah, LeBlanc is trying to get in there, do something. She almost kills the Nico, but just not quite enough damage yet. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but they're going to lose an inhibitor for their worries here. Espeon doesn't have the ability to really stop that. And with LeBlanc and Jinx in the mid lane, they just didn't have the pressure to kind of scare away. He's already level 18, by the way. The Aatrox is massive right now. And yeah, in the replay here we see, I think this is what we were describing in draft, right? I mentioned, you know, you pick the B1 Nocturne, and then you don't pick anything to support him in the dive. And so now the only time he can use Paranoia is if his team is within a screen of the, you know, of the fight. And in that instance, it's like, what, Espeon and Lupi were miles away. They couldn't really join. They couldn't help. It just turned into a 1v4 for the Nocturne, and he's not built to fight that. He's not even... Yeah, he's gone for a Serrated Duck here third, which might be going into a Serpent's Fang to try and help with the shielding. But he's not beefy. He's not like remotely built to kind of deal with that. He does have Conqueror, which I'm gonna say is helping him a little bit in these kind of places where he's getting targeted. I personally go lethal tempo because in the kind of longer fights against the healing champions like Aatrox or the shielding champions like Ivan, the extra attack speed is useful as opposed to the extra healing. He heals off his passive anyway. Although we have 4 members here trying to go for Aatrox. They want that 1,000 gold shutdown. Aatrox is going to get fed up here, and now the rest of the team are here. This is looking like a clean kill here. Shutdown importantly onto the Jinx. That has completely equaled the gold lead for the AD carries. So Jinx is now comfortably equal with the Caitlyn. She doesn't quite have her third item yet, but I imagine she's going to base and get it. You can see she's sitting on the last whisper, so she's probably... Logic would dictate you get a mortal reminder here. I hope and pray that it is a mortal reminder. But it might be an LDR. We don't know. We'll find out. Or Serelda's Grudge even, if you're feeling spicy. But I don't think the slows are particularly useful here. Very ambitious flash engaged there by Aid Pro, but did not quite have the facilities to get that done. And we have Drake in 20 seconds, and now Nocturne has no flash. So I don't like that play. Not a big fan. I think I'm gonna have to see how these teams shape up. We can see several members here of Church of Copium Kings are hanging around this mid lane. Aatrox is making his way, barreling down, so they are looking to do a kind of like a 5-man situation here. Nocturne and his team are moving in on that kind of, you know, they have the first line, the inline here in onto this dragon, but the problem is this is a 5v4. Jason's dealing with the waves bot, and, you know, like we said, Nocturne has no flash, so he can't even, he's sticking around, but what can they do? He pops Paranoia, but they don't even have vision, and he does actually steal it! He stole the Drake, and now the fight begins, and we see Nico gets pop blossom onto 1, but now she's kind of stuck here. Nocturne does go down, but Aatrox has got up a ult. He has a very easy time getting on top of Espeon there on the Seraphine. LeBlanc is just TPing out because she knows the fight is over. It's now solely the job of LeBlanc and Mordekaiser to keep this game alive. They have a wave. They have 5 members. They lost nobody in that instance. And they got supers as well. They might be able to take the game if LeBlanc and Mordekaiser can't do anything about it. And we can see LeBlanc has finished off her Zhonya's, Mordekaiser's on the Dusk and Dawn. So again, I don't know how I feel about the items. He does get big damage there onto the Morgana, but it's not quite enough. And now Mordekaiser's just fighting 4 people. But Aatrox is just ignoring him and going for the turrets. They're going to shut down the Nico. And now he pulls away the Aatrox, but Jesus is going to get a kill. But now the team are here. We see Paranoia comes out. They fly immediately towards the Caitlyn. Caitlyn is on literally 10 HP in a dream. Body blocked a damn super Dega Meth Rocket. Meth Rocket? Death Rocket. Jesus Christ. Words are hard, guys. I shouldn't do solo casts at this time of night. That's my bad. I don't know what a Meth Rocket is. Either way, Loopy, unfortunately, it looked like a clean kill. It looked like it was going to be Super Mega Death Rocket straight on to Jesu, but the Titanic theme song plays as Mahaswara threw his body in the way, you know, and keeps his AD carry safe for maybe the first time in this series. And yeah, now we reset. We have 1 inhibitor down. They weren't actually able to get much more here. I believe both of the Nexus turrets are still up. So they got the inhib, although no, the inhib is just respawned. So all things said and done, low key Church of Copium Kings didn't actually get anything meaningful. They only got kills because the inhibitor was already down, so it's now back up anyway. And they weren't able to get Nexus turrets, so all they have is a gold lead right now, and the Baron has spawned. Good damage here onto Nico, but crazy shielding. Oh, Cat Bandito is gonna get popped here. Surely there's no way he gets out. He has to go backwards to avoid the Dark Binding. That is just gonna be a kill handed over to Chapati Master. And now the pings come out. Aid Pro isn't really here to try and contest this Baron, but also, even if he were, it's kind of hard to do so, right? We see that I think the Smiteless are deciding they're just going to give the neutral objective. They're just going to give the Baron, and they're going to try and make sure they get to keep their inhibitor. Because if they lost both, it would be like just super difficult for them to deal with. And they are able to kind of keep the Aatrox at bay here. But now that he has Baron, the next wave that comes, and presumably when his team comes, it might be hard. Yeah, illegal not killing Aatrox right there. I agree that they played very passively there. It's like without Cat Bandito there to kind of lead the charge, they just seem to not be confident enough to actually go and try and commit to that kill. But now we have leads in every lane apart from mid. You know, Cat Bandito is a 1.5k gold lead over the Nico, built purely from that 112 CS lead. But the rest of the map is all red right now. And we have a little over a minute until that 4th Drake here for Church of Copium Kings spawns. And they have control of the map, you know? There are no turrets on the bot or mid side here for Smiteless to fall back to.
We see Aatrox now smartly moves over to the top side again for the first time in about 15 minutes. Because his side lane pressure, there are turrets for him to get in this lane. Nowhere else, but here there are. Several members here are committed here to try and get the Aatrox. Jinx got good damage out, but Jinx is gonna maybe get caught here unawares, and I think she's gonna just die if she doesn't have flash. And now with Luffy dead, Paranoia is gonna come out here onto the Nico, but I don't think Nico's the target you want to go for in this instance. She just gets to do the Pot Blossom, and then now 2 members of your team are dead. Mordekaiser's gonna try and do something here, but he's 2 and 10. Ace in the Hole's gonna make sure he goes down, and Jesus gonna go on a double kill, make that 3rd kill here. Nico gonna get that turret 1 for the Nexus, gonna go down. Aatrox here flashes in to try and punish Espeon. She flashes out just to save the KDA, but we are going to a game 3. Unlucky, Aaron.
It's more unlucky for the stream.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know. So okay, well, logistically, what the fuck are we gonna do then? Do you just kill the stream at 10 o'clock exactly? Or
I don't know.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about it in the break. Yeah. But yeah, well, okay, we have a game 3, boys. Crazy times, crazy times. We move on to the game 3. I would say let's try to consolidate time as much as humanly possible here and cut straight to a break probably. But yeah, look at the story of this game here. 35k on that Aatrox. And yeah, the points. The points, man. Unlucky Misko. Oh, I lost the coins. Yeah, the Jinx just did nothing in that game. 10k damage over 24 for the Caitlyn. She had a very hard time trying to, you know, actually being able to get any meaningful damage out. Meanwhile, even though Mordekaiser was 2 and 10, his damage chart's insane. Like, his 25k is pretty decent. But it kind of makes sense because they were perma fighting, right? So the reason why he's 2 and 10 is because they were fighting perpetually. But yeah, I think, again, in the interest of trying to make things as quick as possible, we should probably cut straight to a break and let the teams know to just get straight into draft for game 3. Everybody stick in. We will see you all in about 3 minutes. Peace.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
welcome back, everybody. In the interest of saving some time here, we have cut straight to champion select here. So we have Smiteless on, I believe Smiteless are actually on red, so we have to change the graphic over, whereas Church of Copium Kings are on blue. Opting here to try and get themselves the counter pick here in top lane, I imagine. They want to try and change their fortunes in that top side, but Smiteless, Church of Copium Kings are going to immediately B1 the Thresh. So prioritizing, trying to make sure that Noodle gets something that she's confident on, something that she knows how to play well, and they're going to pair it up with the Samira. And that is a lock in there, so very interesting lock in there. So I think Samira Thresh is a good combo. It's a kill lane, so again, I don't know how they're going to play this one, but I would assume they might want to play around that. But I mean, we also said they probably want to play around the Caitlyn, and they didn't. So we'll see. Whereas Smiteless take they take the lovers, they take Rakan and Xayah. The Xayah has been a very prominent pick in, at least in hard stock bracket anyway. We've seen it very strong against any kind of like mega engage, any kind of like mega dive stuff, you know, her ultimate, very safe champion. And then Rakan paired with it, he's great at kind of getting picks. He's great at being able to start kind of smaller skirmishes. He has this big kind of AoE multi-man knockup. And speaking of a multi-man knockup, there is not one much stronger than Malphite with the Unstoppable Force, paired immediately with the Sylas ban, which makes 100% sense, because Sylas with Malphite ult is better than Malphite with Malphite ult. So, yeah, I do not blame them at all for taking that one off the board, especially knowing that Chapati Master does play it. They really probably want to try and limit the options that Chapati Master has in this game, I think, because in game 2 there, I would put a lot of weight on how they got ahead based purely on his ability to cheese on the Nico. Several major team fights were started and won because Pot Blossom caught 2 people off guard and just immediately knocked them up, and then they couldn't move and then they die, right? So trying to get him off of something that actually allows him to have a meaningful impact in the game. Because we saw in game 1 on the Echo, he didn't do much, right? Whereas in the game 2 on the Nico, he lost lane hard and still had, I think, more impact than the LeBlanc did. And yeah, we see the Kassadin come out here as well. Kassadin is very strong on this patch, so I don't blame them for banning that at all, even if I haven't personally seen Chapati Master play it. But, you know, it makes sense. And then they're going to remove Aurora here, which looks like a ban against Cat Bandito. And I imagine they lock in jungler here, which will probably say for sure that the Malphite is top. I think Malphite should be top just purely based on the fact of how Jason has been playing, but it is very strong in the jungle right now. It's just a strong champion overall. It's been very, very difficult to deal with. His engage is kind of unanswerable. Like if you don't have flash or some kind of dash, it is very difficult to deal with. And then, oh, okay. I don't know if Lil Slugger is still in the chat, but he got his wish. We do see here for the game 3 the Trundle pickup. So Trundle is very good into Zac. I think that might be Aid Pro on the Trundle, and they're saving that R5 for the mid pick here, as opposed to, I mean, they could put Malphite mid, I'm not gonna lie. Oh sorry, I'm talking about Cat Bandito would be the R5 pick here. My bad, I'm tripping balls. But either way, I think it's a good pick here. They take Swain, which is also a champion that I think doesn't do great into Trundle. His ability to steal their health, to steal their stats with his ultimate and his Q. The Q doesn't do too much to Swain because it takes AD. But yeah, his damage is all pretty much percentage health based. So he's very good at dealing with champions like Zac, champions like Swain. But I think here maybe the Swain might be a pickup of necessity, just because I think they're kind of pressuring on Chapati Master's champion pool here. And so Swain, maybe that's the next thing he feels comfortable with in this draft. It also, if it is a Malphite mid, I doubt it is, but if it is a Malphite mid, Swain does quite well into it. And so it's not too bad in that instance. And then we're going to see the draft rounded out with the set. So Set, yeah, very strong champion, very good in the 1v1s, very good in the 2v1s. Similar scenarios to what we've seen Synthet in this game so far. And they are gonna R5 the Ryze. I really like that Ryze pick, because the enemy team's range is not that big. They have great range for engage with the Zac, but when actually being able to hit someone, Samira is one of the lower range AD carries. Set is melee, Zac is melee, Thresh is like 300 range, which is way lower than Ryze's. And Swain is like similar range to Ryze, but he also wants to be close up to people for his ultimate. So Ryze is a champion that if you are in range of him, he will eviscerate you when he has the items. So yeah, I do actually really like that pick here for Cat Bandito. I think unlike the what's the word? Unlike the LeBlanc in game 2, where it was really the onus was on him to get a lead in lane and then to impact other lanes through roams, Ryze doesn't need to roam. Ryze can just catch his waves, get his items, and when the team fights come, as long as his tanks play around him, he can hard carry. And Xayah is also a champion who can hard carry as well, but there's having a little bit less of the onus there on Loopy. I've also been informed that Jason is not playing game 3. So they have subbed out Jason Matt for Forever Elo Hell in the top lane. So they are utilizing their 6th player, their sub, Big Andy, putting him up top against Synthet this time. So will be fun to see how that plays out differently this time. See whether or not Forever Elo Hell can play a little bit more safe than Jason can. And you know, luckily for him, he's not against one of the champions that Synthet is known for. Set is a very strong duelist, a very strong 1v1 champ, but you know, if you're playing the Malphite here, I think that the Malphite has a fine time into Set. I think you shouldn't die, you know? You should be fine. Like, unless something goes terribly wrong and the Zac hard camps your lane or something, there's no reason for him to lose too much. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things play out. I really want to see where Aid Pro kind of leans in his ganking. We've seen in both games that Mahasvara just paths top. Even when it makes sense for him to path top to bot instead, he seems to just path top. So I imagine with the Set here, he will probably try to do the same thing. But I think it would be better for him in this game to focus the 2v2. If he can get Samira and Thresh ahead, I think Samira's their only way of killing the tanks on the other side. I think Swain is not great at shredding tanks. He does, if he gets like Leandri's, it is 1-1, John. Yeah. They Church of Copium Kings lost the first game and they brought it back in the second one, specifically to spite Aaron, who has to leave at 10. So if this game is like longer than 30 minutes, we might not get to see the end of it, guys. So let's pray to God that it's a quick one. Because but if it is a quick game, I think that leans more towards Church of Copium Kings. Because again, I think the way they win this game is by by playing through Samira, getting her as fed as you can, getting her kills in lane, and then setting her up in the kind of team fights around the neutral objectives, right? Like you get to the 10 to 15 minute mark, you're on 2nd or 3rd dragon or herald or something, and you get like a big engage with Zac, and then you just again smoke. What bets? Oh shit, get the next bets up. Oh damn, Aaron, you're slacking. Go get the points out. Let me see if I can do it actually. Hold up. I had to change my tab though. Hold up. I can never even remember how to access the moderator stuff. This is how you know I don't use Twitch, guys. I'm tripping. I can review recent raids or review requests, guys. I don't know what requests are, but oh no. Oh, okay. He's good. You got it. All right, yeah. The predictions will be up soon. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Give Aaron a minute. There we go. Coins being distributed. Who won big? I'm gonna assume Synthet won big because Misco put like 9k. Yeah, there we go. 12.3k. Holy. God damn. It goes to Synthet and 2 others. It won't tell me who the 2 others are though. Unlucky. That's a big boy return on investment there for Synthet and 2 other people who shall remain nameless because Twitch wants to keep their name. And predictions for Game 3 are finally live. Who do we think's gonna win it? Do we think Church of Copium Kings on the blue side running the set, Zach, Swain, Samira, and Thresh will win? Or do we think Smiteless on the red side with Malphite, Trundle, Rise, and Zaya and Rakan are going to pull the win this time? This will be a decider for who clears out to top place in their group right now. There is still 1 week of games for this group, so in theory, it's not locked in. But let's be real, the teams that are 2-0 going into week 3, you know, they've got all the momentum behind them. They're looking the cleanest, in theory. We're going to have to see how it goes. Hey, there we go. I can see Slugger in the chat saying Trundle Pog, yeah. So I was saying earlier, they listened to your advice. They picked the Trundle. Don't quite know if it's jungle or if it's top right now. I have a feeling that it's jungle, but I'm going to have to see. Oh, what's wrong with Trundle Jungle? I play Trundle Jungle. Trundle Jungle's great. If the enemy team has tanks, you just play, like, even if they don't have tanks, you can still play them. You just stat check people. It's hilarious. It's a good time. Nah, it ain't Trundle top, no? Damn. All right. Oh no, you sound like a bit of a hater, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Trundle Jungle is great. It's, just run people down. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Good time, no? Especially against champs like Zach, where they don't really have a way to deal with him. So he's a good one. And we've seen 8Pro be fairly consistent this series. I think that game 2 wasn't really a mechanics difference for him. It was more of a comp diff, right? I think that the comp didn't support him. He had a hard time. He had a hard time being like useful because they drafted a champion who wants to throw himself in with no champions that also want to throw themselves in. And so, you know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of rough for a Nocturne in an instance like that. I've played many a solo queue game like that, you know, and talking from deep experience. In fact, actually, I'm pretty sure I had a series like that in the last MiniLCS where we like R1'd Nocturne and then didn't build dive comp around it. And so it was like, I threw myself in with Paranoia, guys. Where are you guys at? I'm still farming minions, bro. And yeah, then you die because you're in between 4 people and rip. So, you know, this time I think that their comp is a lot more cut and dry. It's a lot more just like, let's back to front or front to back. You know, we throw Malphite in the front with a ton of HP and a ton of shields and a ton of resistances. And we have Trundle there to make their front line weaker, whoever it may be that's strong. You know, if it's Zach, if it's Set, if it's Swain, he has R, he can subjugate them, he can make them significantly weaker. And then we have the consistent DPS threats in Zaya and Rise. It's a very good shared damage profile. Zaya is exclusively physical damage. She loves the attack speed, she loves the crit, and Rise is great at just machine gunning people down with the magic damage. If he has the same kind of lead coming into the team fights on Rise as he did on the LeBlanc, I have the utmost faith that Cat Bandito carries this game. But we're gonna have to see how it plays. Rise is a deceivingly tanky champion, so I think that unless Samira is ahead, they may have a hard time killing him. Again, I think win cons here for the Church of Copium Kings is get Samira ahead, make sure that she stays on top of the enemy AD carry, and bot lane you have to play through her. You have loads of good hard CC options to set her up, and you know that's how we win, right? Whereas for Smiteless, I think their job is to just farm. Like, honestly, I think if they can get Rise to like 3 items, I think that Cat Bandito has the hands to be able to carry. If they can get him to 3 items without the enemy team being massively ahead, then I think they're okay. And I'm most interested to see the change up in the top lane here, because we have, as was mentioned in the chat, Jasomat is out, and they have moved Forever Elo Hell into the top lane. So we're gonna see how the role swaps, so the roster swap and role swap, sorry, because he did play AD carry in game 1. We'll see how that fares here, because a large reason why Church of Copium Kings have had gold leads in both game 1 and game 2 has been a very kind of focused intent on that top side by Mahasvara, and then just better hands by Synthet against Jason. So as we move into game here, yeah, there we go. It is as we thought. It is going to be the Malphite top. It is going to be the jungle Trundle. And like I said, I like the jungle Trundle in this instance. I think it's super strong. I don't like that ward though. I get that they're worried maybe of a counter jungle, but is Zac? I don't think Zac is going to counter jungle in this patch. I don't think it's great for him. He's not that fast at clearing, and he's definitely not that good at fighting level 1 through 3. So you could have just stood there until maybe like 3 or 4 seconds before your wave crashed, and then just gone, and you would have known in your heart that the Zac isn't there. Because yeah, he's not a champion that wants to invade like that, and especially with the season 16 invade changes, or like the timing changes, I should say, making it so much more restrictive on how you can execute invades. Yeah, you don't want to do that, man. You don't want to do that. They're also mirroring, sorry, not mirroring, they're doing opposites. So we see Trundle's pathing towards his bot side, and yet again, third game on the trot, Mahasvara is pathing top. So they are hoping and praying beyond all hopes and prayers that Synthet can hard carry this game, because that is where Zac's going. They're going to probably be looking to try and dive the Malphite, I imagine. What I will say here is Malphite has burnt his mana bar so quickly, and that was not a smart choice by him. I know what's happened there. He's chose to trade aggressively with Synthet with his Q, but the thing is that level 1 through 6, like basically before you're like level 7 or 8, his Q costs so much mana and you have so little mana that you throw that Q like 3 times, you don't have mana anymore. Like, just is what it is. So yeah, I think that's kind of put himself in a bit of a pickle. You can see he's already kind of low on the HP department here as well, so I think he's having a hard time. But on the bright side, he's still pretty healthy. You know, his passive gives him a shield every 6 seconds that he's out of combat. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, as Slugger just said in the chat, you only throw it to proc the mana flow band. I think later in the game, like, you know, past like say 8 or 10 minutes, you can throw it just to poke. But in this, yeah, after first base, yeah, that's a good way to put it as well. Even though he doesn't actually build mana, like in his first item, he's probably going to be going for like a Sunfire Cape here, I imagine. But yeah, either way, his mana right now is looking biblical. And so he has to kind of just surrender the lane here to Synthet. Although I guess that's maybe a good thing. It's maybe a good thing, because the Zac is already pathing topside anyway, right? Although I will say that Zac is clearing really weirdly, because he went chickens, Krugs, I think blue buff, Gromp, then the, what is it called? Then the crab, then his wolves, and now he's going back to chickens. That is an interesting clear. I am not well versed on 2026, like the season 16 clearing, if that is like new or something. But oh no, okay, Malphite's gonna flash out. I think Trundle should still get this though. That is a clean secure for first blood, and I think that's actually really bad for Church of Copium Kings, because Zac was pathing topside, right? He went bot to top. He didn't see an angle to gank when he was there, and then Trundle is able to just reset and get a gank off for free top. And now Set's on the back foot. Set lost he didn't lose the flash, to be fair, and he isn't TPing back into lane because he's not worried he's going to lose too much of the wave. I think maybe a little bit of new top laner, like lack of knowledge there for Forever Elo Hell. He didn't actually crash the wave, and so this means that fortunately here for Set, he's going to catch most of those minions. So unlucky, but Mid lane going favored here for Cat Bandito. He is a couple CS up and getting good trades here. Especially Swain just hit 6 here, so he can finally use that ultimate, but I don't think he really wants to unless the Rise is low on mana. Speaking of though, he is low on mana and we're seeing it's gonna pop in here. And he might still lose the fight though. We see double flashes coming out here. If Rise gets one straight Q, it might be all over. But he doesn't quite land it. It's just not got the mana. And fortunately there, Chapati is going to get to walk out. You see Mahasvara's floating. He's looking for something, but he's not 100% on it right now. He's not going to quite commit. Cat Bandito does not seem to be aware that he's there. And third game in the trot, Smiteless goes straight for that Drake at 5 minutes and 30. These guys have definitely got a game plan in check. You know, they are very good at going, you know, for that early objective, kind of taking that early prio. They get the shove in the bot lane. They get the, I don't know if they quite got shoved mid there, but luckily Chapati Master was already basing, and they just quickly take that Drake near enough on spawn. Literally all 3 games back to back to back, they've gotten it cleanly. So big shout out to Aid Pro there and the bot lane for being able to facilitate him for that, because in all 3 games, all 3 members have been there to ensure that. And same with Espeon, has been at every Grubs fight, even when their jungler hasn't been. So, you know, there's clearly some kind of rigidity in their plans around the objectives, which I appreciate. You know, in the lower bracket, that kind of stuff can win you games, where just having a plan, even if you're not mechanically better, it can still win you games just because you came in with the plan. You know, the plan is the main thing, and being on the same page and being uniform is sometimes more important. Yeah, big CS lead here building for the set. Though I will say, I think probably arguably better than a CS lead plus a kill lead, which is what we were having before. Only 300 gold equates to 1 kill currently for the set. But unfortunately for Malphite, the lane is pushing to the set. So we'll see if Synthet tries to maybe set up a freeze or something, or if he wants to just match the push and try and get turret plates. But, you know, low mana here for the Malphite again. Just kind of has to get what he can get until he gets this Sunfire. Cat Bandito and Aid Pro are floating around, but we don't have the objective up for another 30 seconds. So there's still plenty of time here for Church of Copium Kings to make their way to those Grubs. Look there, as mentioned earlier, we can see right on time, I spoke about it there, Espeon is hovering the mid lane right now in preparation, 15 seconds for the Grubs up. And Noodle is there as well though. Noodle is nearby. Zac is going to look to engage here onto Espeon, going to land the abilities here, lock them down a bit. Trundle's here though, and with the pillar there, they're going to make a big divide, make it hard for Zac to get out. Zac has to pop his ult, but now Set's here. The Set's going to foot the ult there onto the Trundle, just immediately down, and they're gonna have to give up these Grubs again. And I think that one there is a little bit of a diff in the top there. Good for Synthet to be able to kind of push the wave in, move down, while Forever Elo Hell has to choose, do I get my wave or do I help my team? And in this instance he chose the wave, and they lose the neutral for it, you know. Good play by him, good adaptation by Noodle to match Espeon this time. As we said in games 1 and in game 2, she didn't match at all. And in game 1, it cost them the Grubs. In game 2, it was indifferent. But either way, I think it was a good difference here. You know, they dropped the box and kind of made it hard for the enemy team to move in, and allowed Zac to get out and give them time for Synthet to come in and actually turn the tide of the fight. So... oh, okay, Unstoppable Force here onto Set. I don't know if this is a kill though. It should be. No, it should be. It should be. Flash coming out. Forever Elo Hell gonna get the first solo kill top on the side of Smiteless for the entire series. Big ups to the Malphite there. He went for a Bramble Vest on his second base as well. So I don't hate that, but I dislike that it puts his item behind for like an extra 800 gold, right? So, and also, what is he building now? Because he's got an extra Ruby Crystal in there. So the Balmy Cinder, we're not prioritizing the Sunfire Cape here. We're going a different item entirely, it seems. And that, I guess, is probably just a rush of the Thornmail here. So we went Balmy Cinder into Thornmail Rush. which again, I don't hate it too much. He needed anti-heal anyway, because several members on the enemy team do lifesteal, but it doesn't feel right to do it first, you know? I don't think you fully finish the Thorn Mail as the first item. You would probably go, oh, nice hook there to stop Espeon with the ultimate, and she doesn't actually get to charm anyone, so that's really big there. They do lose the flash on Noodle Master, but really good hook to kind of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here, like displace their engage, you know, just kind of stopped it in its tracks. Cat Bandito might be caught out here. We see ultimate's going to come out by Swain, ultimate also out by the Zac. They should get this easy solo, or sorry, no, it's not solo kill, but easy gank kill onto Rise. 300 gold shipped over to the Zac there, who is 2-0 right now. And yeah, no, for sure. I see what you guys are saying in the chat here about going Frozen Heart components into boots, into Bramble, into complete Frozen Heart. I would have just gone Frozen Heart just straight up, I think, because the attack speed reduction is really good against Synthet, or against the set, I should say. Synthet set, very similar names. My bad, guys. But either way, we do see what he has. So he has 2.5 of the components of a Thornmail. So I'm going to assume that it is a first item Thornmail for him. And as they hopefully get the top quest done, you know, that big shield he'll get off it as well will make him a bit tankier. So that's something. But it looks like Chapati here is... Oh no! The waste of the flash. He was already dead. There was no way he was getting out there. So to see that happen is really rough, and goddamn, guess it is what it is. Awkwardly though, none of the gold went on to Rise, so that is one thing I would want to point out. I think the junglers are getting kills right now that I don't think they can use maximally. Siamite Inter, true. He's only died once. We'll give him his respect. But he has lost lane in all 3 games to Cat Bandito, to be fair. I think that was a really awkwardly placed Trundle pillar that actually kind of cost Rise's life, and they should be able to get the return kill onto the Zac. But no, okay, Chapati just intimidates them away, and now we see Espeon goes in, but look at the damage onto the Trundle. And flashes are going to keep people safe. Ivan, yeah, I am solo casting. I am slowly but surely losing my voice, but don't worry about it, bro. This is the last game. I can confirm it. I got this. We're doing all right, you know. But yeah, this game is the most even one we've had so far. Only 300 gold between the 2 teams right now, so definitely looking more close than some of these other games that we've had so far. I think at this point in the game, for both game 1 and game 2, there were gold leads in the top lane that were pretty large, but now actually been evened up. Synthet has been kind of neutralized here. He's 0-2. He does have the item advantage, but that's only due to poor itemization by Malphite. So yeah, I think had he gone for just one consistent item, he'd be on one item right now. And the first items are coming out for pretty much everybody else. So we can see Essence Reaver on the Xayah, there's the Collector on the Samira, there's Blackfire Torch for the Swain. We have Rod of Ages has been built for a couple minutes on the Rise, which is a big item for him. So very good there for him. And jungle items are both complete as well. Triforce for the Trundle and Sunfire for the Zac. So no surprise though that both of their items are completed, considering they've soaked 2 of their teams kills for Trundle and all of their team's kills for the Zac. So Zac is looking particularly strong right now, but we'll have to see if they can convert it. He hasn't gone for the damage build. I know that there's a popular damage build for the Zac right now where you go Hextech Rocket Belt and then tank. Oh, Realm Warp coming here onto side. They're going to see if they can maybe get a kill here. Subjugate's going to come out as well. He should just be a sitting duck. He has no flash. And that's second kill here, or second death, I should say, for Chapati Master. Gonna go straight back to the gray screen. And still only 200 gold between the teams though, so nothing of note as of yet. I think that's largely due to the CS leads being built in top and bot. So we have a 30 CS lead, give or take, in top, and we have a 20 CS lead, give or take, in bot. Although, because of how plates work, the gold lead is actually negligible. So 86% of the kills are on junglers. Yeah, no, valid. Yeah, 6 of 7 kills. Oh, fuck. Oh, Sean, you made me say 6-7. Fuck. How dare you? Unbelievable. Team fight here though, maybe looking. I mean, I don't know why the Zach threw himself in there, dude. He had no team. I don't know what he fucking did there, bro. That was so questionable. But either way, it's mocking Sean, bruh. Yeah, all right. So I need to get back. I need to focus back on the game, guys. Stop distracting me. I need to stop looking at the Twitch chat and talk about the game. So that's going to be tier 1 mid going to go down. They are going to change course here to try and get tier 1 top. I don't think they have enough gas in the can though for the Rise to bring that all the way topside and crash it. Yeah, it's going to stop there and then just take some turret shots and die. But either way, still good for them to actually get that tier 1, because now I believe we still have maybe like 20 seconds on the flash for the Swain, but Swain has been super punishable in this game, and with no safety net of that tier 1 mid turret for him, Trundle and Rise can run him down time and time again. And we see it might look like they're trying to do it again here. We're going to see the root come out. We're going to see the pillar come out. He pops ult, and he's just going to get run down. He's actually kind of surviving it this time, though. I don't know what the difference is here. If Subjugate wasn't popped or something, he's going to pop the flash on cooldown. So it literally just came back, and he gets out. I don't actually know what the stat thing on Essence Reaver is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't remember what Essence Reaver does because it's been that long since I've built it. So I imagine if it has a damaging effect, it will be a damage effect, and if it has like a mana regeneration effect, it will be that. But we will find out as we see Noodle Master gets caught and killed here very cleanly. And that's just going to be third Drake here being handed over to the side of Smiteless. So this early game cohesive game plan that they have to get these early Drakes ends up meaning in this game, unlike game 2 and unlike game 1, they're actually just dominating that side. They're dominating that kind of area now. So very clean by the side of Smiteless here. So I would want to point out, for those of you who maybe didn't see game 1 and game 2 because you were watching Ozzy's Sweatlord stream, shout out to Ozzy for streaming that as well, by the way. The game 1 and game 2, first Drake, again, cohesive plan, easy execution by Smiteless was able to get it. But Drake 2, Drake 3, Drake 4, they were all fights. They were all like 50-50s, and they tended to go for Church of Copium Kings because they were out team fighting. In this game, they haven't fought them. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, they just haven't really tried to fight. I think it's because of the fact that Chapati is getting blasted a bit in the mid lane, and they haven't been able to build a lead bot either. So they just haven't had the ability to fight it. And even Synthet's not ahead either. There's no one's ahead. We're seeing Cat Bandito does get soloed here by Chapati Master though, so really good for the Swain there. No, it's good to know that he's hit that kind of threshold of level 11 where that second rank in his ultimate means that he's so much harder to kill. He built a Giant's Belt, he's got his damage item in the Blackfire Torch, you know, so he can still kill. And we see Synth that might be going down here, pops the ult into the flash. Aid Pro confidently dives and just free there. So yeah, this game is so different from games 1 and game 2, because like Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, you remember the first game and the second game felt nigh identical until the end, right?
Yep.
Like it was the same story. It was just top lane dies on repeat, and the rest of the map kind of slowly bleeds in lead for the side of Smiteless. And then the team fights happened, and in game 1 team fights went the side of Smiteless, and in game 2 they went the side of Church of Copium Kings. So
but yeah, this game is completely different.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We're not seeing any of that. We're not seeing anyone take a massive lead. It's
no, for sure. Although I mean, we see Swain nearly dying under turret there, which is kind of crazy. I love fucking Eunice in the chat. Just why is the blue side abbreviation cock? It's Church of Copium Kings, actually. Gosh. Zach here. No, definitely not intentional. No. Realm Warp is gonna get him and his minions to safety. He's gonna get away. That's pretty clean there for the Rise. You know, not too bad of a use of his ultimate. He's also got the last minute of waiting on his Rod of Ages before he gets a whole free level. So that XP lead that Chapati Master has built is gonna become negligible within the next 60 seconds because he's gonna get a free level up, baby. He's gonna go from level 13 to level 14, and he's gonna have a fun time with it. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's just straight up. He just hit 13 and it's like, all right, cool. Yep, there we go, 14. And now he is ahead on XP. And that is the power of Rod of Ages for you guys. Is a sleeper item, but when it pops, it's good times had by all people that love to build it. And also, all of the HP it gives you makes you sneakily tanky as well. Like, look at this guy. He's got like what, 2.6k health or something. He's about as beefy as the Zac is, to be honest. Yeah, the Zac looks like the Zac's on 2.2, and he's got tank items. So it's a weird one for sure. But I mean, to be fair, he's also got health coming from the Archangel Staff, right? I think that gives a little bit of health. Or am I wrong? I can't even remember, but the shielding is problematic. True. Yeah, Sai had that. Now his leveling is natural, you know. He gained that. That's organic for him, whereas the Roa popping is what put him back up. So no, it's just shielding, isn't it? Yeah, it's the fucking passive. When you go down to a certain amount, it's gives you like a chunky shield based on your mana, if I remember correctly. And to be honest, Archangels is one of those items they keep changing, so it's hard to remember exactly what it does. Especially because I don't fucking build it, because I don't play mid. But these are the sacrifices we have to make. As we see, Rise is he's hovering. We got 15 seconds on this Drake, and this Drake is Soul. If Smiteless can get this, it is Soul for them. And it's a Chemtech Soul as well, which I think works really well for them. You know, I just noted how tanky the Rise can be. And, oh, Realm Warp doesn't actually go. Okay, TP's gonna come out here. Some reason Zac is 1v1ing Rise when they have the Drake up, and now he's about half HP as we move towards the fight, and Set's gonna throw himself in there, but he doesn't get to use his W. He dies before he Ws, and so no shielding is gonna come out, and now this fight should really be for Smiteless, but they're taking so much damage from the Samira. The Samira gets massive damage in the team fight. Chapati Master is gonna walk in, and they are all so low, they can't even face the Swain. And that was a really nice fight there for Church of Copium Kings. You know, considering I was describing the negatives that occurred, like not being able to use the Haymaker and not, you know, their jungler having to be out of the fight from the beginning. Insane damage by the Samira to actually just pull that one back. And yeah, we're gonna see it here on the replay. So yeah, Set throws himself in because he's stuck and rooted. So he commits, he goes in, they blow him the fuck up before he gets a chance to use W. And then here, just keep your eyes on the Samira. She just throws herself in, nobody's paying attention, hits the R, and everybody drops. Now everyone's on like 15% HP. What can they do? Swain's confident. We burn that flash on cooldown again. Yeah. Chapati Master does not like to hold his summoner spells, and I respect it. And yeah, 100%, yeah. The Mogshawn Cock uses that 2 circles, Pyro. Would you call them, instead of calling them circles, may you call them rings? Oh man, Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, Chapati Master here caught on the side lane. It's Trundle gonna try and run him down. Unstoppable Force gonna come out. He does have ulti. He's waiting. He's holding it for some reason. Doesn't want to pop it and is gonna die, unfortunately. Unlucky, Ivan, that you just got hit by our auto mod. But I'll sort you out. Don't you worry. And I know what you're talking about. You ain't talking about anything problematic. You're all good. Okay, it looks like this is going to be a free Baron here. So, honestly, I want to shout out the fact that I believe someone in the Twitch chat said that this is Andy or Forever Elo Hell's first time playing top. And he is doing a very good job of it. He has a 500 gold bounty on his head right now from how well he's playing this lane, considering he's up against Synthet. And we watched what Synthet was able to do against Jason in games 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong, Malphite is one of those champions where it's kind of not, you know, he's good to go easy, but like, I don't know, man. I still want to shout out that I think it's super impressive that he's been able to go deathless here. His build, now that he's actually finished most of it, is a little bit more respectable, I think. We've got the Sunfire finished, the Thornmail finished. Looks like we're going for a Kaenic Rookan, which I don't know if I agree with on the Kaenic Rookan point here. I don't know if Swain's damage is that high that you need the Kaenic Rookan, but I guess on the bright side it means it will be really hard for him to hurt. But you're not first time top. Oh, okay, someone in the chat said you were, but fair enough, dude. Either way, big shout out to you because you're popping the fuck off in this game. We see ultimate come out here by the Zac onto Xayah, but Zaya's going to use her ult to get out of it, and now it looks like Noodle is kind of caught out. We got the Zeke's convergence on her, kind of look like a Swain ult, but here we go. Swain ult comes out and he's just casually 1v4 and his team abandoned him. So I don't know if he gets out here. We see Set is going to come in, he's going to hit the ult here, and then Unstoppable Force is going to land onto 2, and that's going to be 2 quick kills here for Smiteless, and then the W is going to come out by the Set, but Set's going to go down, and that looks like a resounding ace here, near enough. Noodle Master's the only one out with like 100 HP, and they're going to be able to crack these Baron empowered minions into these turrets. I don't know if it's game per se. Aaron's probably hoping it is, because it is exactly 10 o'clock right now, but I don't think they can quite finish the game off of this push. People should be up soon. We have, what, 15 seconds until Samira. Full HP Noodle should be able to maybe push them away. And no, they are going to go for it. They're going to commit. They're going to see if they can finish this fight here, or finish this game even. Noodle's going to try her best. She's going to flay them away, but nah, never mind. Look how fast the turret's going down. I stand corrected. Okay, Jesu's up, but the pillar is going to cut him, and he is going to be, yeah, all right. Unlucky, guys. GG. Smiteless take the series 2-1. They really wanted to make sure that Aaron got to work on time, and I respect that. Good job, guys. Exactly at 10 o'clock. They heard the timeline, they heard the deadline, and they were like, yeah, say less. Damn, yeah, GG. Forever Elo Hell diff indeed. Yeah. The top diff was huge. Who is MVP of that series? Oh, it is hard to say. We haven't really done MVPs for this season because there's been so much content and it's been really hard to do. But if I had to give an MVP for that series, I would probably say, if I just want to say pure performance, I would say it's 8 Pro. If I want to say the difference maker, I'm going to say is probably either Cat Bandito or Forever Elo Hell, because I think if you had Jason in that game, I think it would have been a different story, because then we would have had the same story as game 1 and the same story as game 2, where the top laner was probably massively ahead because he was able to punish aggressive positioning, right? And so in this game, we can see it is a very different story because Forever Elo Hell played as safe as he could. He wasted his mana a bit in the early game, but never actually got meaningfully punished for it, and was able to end up, yeah, overpowering Synthet by the time he got to 15 to 20 minutes. And so I think he's probably the big difference maker in this series. I think Cat Bandito was the most consistent carry of the game, of both of game 1, game 2, and game 3. Like, he was consistently ahead in all games. But yeah, either way though, congratulations to Smiteless. You guys go to 2-0 for your record overall in the bracket, in your group even, I should say. I believe next week you guys will be going up against Wizard Ninjas, and then Church of Copium Kings will be going up against Team Cyberpunk, I believe. Yeah. Oh shit, I'm going on camera, guys. I don't quite know why, because I thought we needed to go home, but GG everyone. Well played to Smiteless. Well played to all of the guys on Church of Copium Kings. Think you guys did a good series. 3-game series, pretty impressive. Also, it's, you know, they're always a sweaty into kind of, you know, what's what I'm looking for here, like a sweaty ordeal when it goes to 3 games. You know, it's not something that you're used to facing or used to dealing with when you just play solo queue, because solo queue is just one game done, best of ones, right? Best of 3. When you win the first game and in the second game you get met with some retaliation and you lose, trying to come back from that, really difficult. And as we saw here, unfortunately momentum favored the side of Smiteless, so they were able to actually reverse it because they won game 1 and then lost game 2 and then won game 3. But you know, either way, congratulations to both teams. We'll eagerly be watching you guys in week. And tomorrow, correct me if I am wrong, Aaron, correct me if I am wrong indeed, we do have 2 series, but I think we're intending to do 1 live. So there is, from midday tomorrow, there is the Cooked Kitchen versus Hagrid's Hermione's, which is a hard start game. And then from 6 p.m, there's 5 off-roll versus Fruit Maxers. And then from 8 p.m, there's actually Team Cyberpunk versus Wizard Ninjas. But we are going to probably be streaming 5 off-roll versus Fruit Maxers because it's at the best kind of time. You know, 6 p.m. is pretty chill. We might be able to do the Cooked Kitchen versus Hagrid's Hermione's as VODs after the fact, because that game should be well done before we start 5 off-roll versus Fruit Maxers. But ain't nobody looking to start a stream at mid. You know, this ain't our job, bro. That's not happening. So that will go.
Also, I am finishing the job that I'm going to run to after this at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I want to sleep.
Exactly. There you go. So yeah, 6 p.m. start tomorrow, GMT. 5 off-roll versus Fruit Maxers. Hard Stuck Heroes Group B action, baby. It'll probably be matched with the Cooked Kitchen versus Hagrid's Hermione's in the aftermath, but we'll confirm that on the day. But anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. We've enjoyed having you all here, and we will. Yeah, I do have the blanket, Ivan, bro. I'm super comfy. I was in a burrito to begin with, but it got too hot. But anyway, we'll see all of you tomorrow, hopefully with more casters. Peace.